So where this series of adventures started is in the um, the system of Albi, and Albi is on your map. It's down here, kind of at the, the bottom middle. Albi was a desert world, and we were hired by a woman named Lady Ada Weishart to go to Albi and steal a GeDeCo asset. And we weren't sure exactly what the asset was until we had accepted the job. Well, it turns out that the asset was actually a person, and it was a person named Director Skylark Tanlin. Um, and he was going to be on a grav train, and we actually went into Albi and found him on this train and basically kidnapped him. This is Director Tanlin right there, and our patron. Here's a picture of her, is Lady Ada Weishart. So she hired us to capture this individual. And we then discovered the reason why is that he's high up in GeDeCo in the Trojan Reach. And GeDeCo has partnered with the Senlis Foederate to set up infrastructure, and they have a multi-decade contract set up. Well, the Senlis Foederate, they're kind of like the bad guys in this situation. They rule the Foederate with an iron fist from Senlis. So the other worlds, Magan and Orsosh, they're under the heel of the Senlis Foederate, and they control them by controlling the water. They limit the access to water to people on Orsosh and Magan, and because we're kind of far away from other worlds, we're sort of stuck. We're on a small oasis in the frontier. It's not like you can just go to the next system and get water. They're all kind of far away. And so this is an easy way to control the population. Well, they also began to drug the water to make people calm, or they might drug the water to agitate people if they want to, overthrow a rebellion or something. So basically, through control of the water is how the Senlis Foederate has grabbed this 3-star system in an iron fist. And so what Ada wants to do is she wants to change the terms of that contract without them becoming aware of it. So we were sent to Magan to go and get some information from some rebels on Magan at a place called the Red Rock base. Well, when we got there, the base was under attack. We had to infiltrate into the base, steal the plans, and then make sure that any traces of those plans were destroyed so that the Foederate wouldn't know what we were up to. And we succeeded in doing that. The next mission took us to Orsosh, where there was a convoy carrying 2 prisoners, and we were to rescue them from this prison convoy. Those prisoners had been on the station, the kind of orbiting around Senlis, and they had infiltrated that station and were getting valuable information for us. It's like many Bothans lost their lives getting us this information. Well, these 2 guys from Orsosh nearly lost their lives to get us some information. And in their getaway from the station, before they were caught, they ruptured a fuel line and there was a small explosion on the station. So the station is undergoing some repair. But we did capture these 2 men, and they had some codes for us, security codes, which will help us in our mission today. And so where we start, we're on a ship, and this ship is Lady Ada's ship, and it is the Aurora's Fortune. I'll just send you the kind of the specs for that. We're using one of her ships called the Exton Ridge. This would be a smaller ship that you could take 20 people on, whereas hers is significantly larger. So the Exton Ridge is the one that we're flying in, but right now we are docked to the Aurora's Fortune with Lady Ada and her band of rebels as we go about the next part of the adventure. So that gets us caught up with the campaign thus far. Now, I'll kind of teach you the system as we go, but it's essentially based on rolling a 2d6. You'll roll 2 6-sided dice, and you'll add modifiers. Foundry will take care of all of that for you. But essentially, anytime you roll a skill or a characteristic roll, you're going to add whatever your your bonus is. So let's open up Aaron. Let's look at his character sheet really quick. So Aaron is a basically like a jack of all trades. There's a skill that's specifically called jack of all trades, and when you get that, it makes you not good at everything, but less bad at everything. If you don't know a lick about explosives, you're going to have a -3 modifier. But if you have the jack of all trades skill, it'll bump that up to a -2, and all of the things that you're not trained in, it'll bump that up. Well, you have 2 levels in jack of all trades, so your worst modifier is a -1. So you're actually fairly decent at everything. So you're going to be super helpful to have along, because you're going to fill up all the little holes that, like, hey, does anyone have this skill? No? Well, let's let Aaron do it, because Aaron's going to be our best shot. Now, anytime you roll a skill, you'll add your skill modifier, which is based on your levels of training, as well as an attribute. And typically, Foundry will go ahead and put in the appropriate attribute, but you can change it. Like if you're doing a gun combat roll, you're firing a gun, you're probably going to use your dexterity to modify that. But if you are repairing a gun, you might use your gun combat roll, but you'll use education or intellect to modify that. So that can be adjusted, and you can just say, hey, can I use this skill instead of this other one? It would make more sense with what I'm doing, and we'll run with it. But that's the gist of it. You roll 2 6-sided dice, you add your modifiers. You're typically trying to beat an 8. And sometimes it will be higher, sometimes it will be lower. I'll tell you, you need to beat a 6, you need to beat an 8, you need to beat a 10. But if I don't say, it's generally going to be an 8 that you're trying to beat. And all you'll do to roll is you'll click on the name of the skill, and you can go ahead and make a roll for us now. Just click on any one of your skills. It will pull up a smaller secondary screen that will ask you, like, the roll type. That's always going to be normal, unless I tell you roll it with a boon dice or a bane dice, which would be like a bonus die or a penalty die in Cthulhu. You'd roll 2 and take either the higher or the lower. And then if I say...
What does it mean by remember characteristics?
You don't need to worry about that. That's more like if I'm only ever going to use my dexterity when I roll this, you can click on that, and then it won't let you change it, or won't give you the option to. The only thing that you really might change on here would be roll type. If I say, boon or bane, or if there's the DM, the dice modifier. If I say, give that a -1, you'll just type -1 in there, or like a +2 or something. So go ahead and make a roll, and we'll see how well Aaron does here on his roll. So you did an astrogation check. You got a 6, which is a failure. So typically you want to get an 8. And so after where it says average failure, then in brackets it has -2. That's called the effect, or how far off of your target you were. And so we tend to fail forwards in Traveler, so you would still probably succeed with an astrogation roll if you weren't under pressure. Honestly, I probably wouldn't even have you roll it if you weren't under pressure. But if you were under pressure and you failed that may affect the next person that's maybe making a piloting roll, because you're giving them bad information. You're still succeeding on the astrogation roll, but you're making it harder for them. And so below that it says chain bonus. The next person to roll, if they're kind of doing the same sort of tasks that you are, would have a -2 because you misidentified a space lane or something. And so that's typically how we'll do it. You'll roll a skill, and we'll look to see if it's a success or a failure, and then how it might modify the next person if it's applicable. So, with me so far?
Yes.
Perfect. Any questions from anyone else before we jump in and get started? All right, let's do it. Let me pull up my notes. All right. So, emerging a safe distance from the planet of Senlis is key. In fact, anytime you come out of jump, you want to arrive at least 100 diameters from any large gravity well, like a planet would be a gravity well. If you jump too close to that, there's a chance it pulls you out of your jump, and you could smash into a planet or careen into a star, or who knows what could happen. So you tend to come out of jump space at least 100 diameters. It takes then several hours to get to the location. It's not like you jump and all of a sudden you're in orbit. So we have time as we come out of our jump. And I'm going to pull up a document. You'll find it in the journals under the station job, but I'm going to share it with you right now. This is the information that you would have about Senlis. You'd be able to find it on the ship as you are checking in the ship's library computer. And you would read that Senlis was the most established frontier world when the war came, well into the process of bringing in ice from the belt. It had not been easy, as the whole operation was beset by raiders driven forth by Sindal's expanding borders. And Sindal was an empire over 1,000 years ago that basically tore through the Trojan Reach, leaving a wake of radioactive debris in its wake. When Sindal's ships came, Senlis was not completely defenseless. Through a daring alliance with the last of the pirate queens, Senlis managed to bring down an artillery ship and fake a transmission that its mission was accomplished. The fleet fell for the ruse and withdrew, but the victory would be short-lived. The artillery ship crashed into the capital, wiping out most of the survivors. It was a victory, though, and that would inform the mindset of Senlis forevermore. In the aftermath, Senlis struggled to get back on its feet. It had to be ready when the Empire returned, but no one ever came. Today, the people of Senlis live around the Great Lake, a brackish and toxic body of former belt ice. 9 canals lead off it, and with them grows the city. The High Prince's palace sits central to them all, built over the ruins of that crashed Sindal ship. What was promised as a dream, however, is anything but. The air is heavy with lethal levels of CO2. Plants thrive where they have water, but are gnarled, hateful things. What there is the city, sprawling, dark, and neon. The closer one is to water, the higher one's status, and the richer the area. Each canal is governed by a duke that oversees which mood-altering chemicals their portion of the city will use, competing to earn the High Prince's favor. Well, our destination today is not the planet, but the high port that orbits around the planet. And Lady Ada calls us in over breakfast, and she hands you a data slate. And this slate has information on Senlis Station. And I'm going to make this observable in the journals, but I'll also post it here for you. Show that, and I'll throw it into chat. Perfect. She says, "My friends, today you change history. Your job is to infiltrate Senlis Station. Once in, you'll need to work your way into the damaged corporate nacelle and find the GeDeCo secure data vault. Inside that is the GeDeCo master system containing all the contract data for the cluster. My team has put together a passkey that should automatically overwrite the data. All you need to do is power the system on, insert the key. Oh, there's one final thing." And she smiles. "We don't want anyone catching on to our true objectives, so try to make it look like a robbery. Grab something of value on your way out. Should something unforeseen happen, emergency rendezvous is back on Orsosh. And lucky for us, thanks to your actions on Orsosh, you have an easy in. We have security codes, which will make your ship appear as a GeDeCo general vessel, already registered with their system. You just have to sell the act." Looking at the information for Senlis Station, you can see that it is the primary civilian spaceport in the Federate. And it's a Class B port by Imperial standards, but it's the height of Senlis Federate achievement. Access is limited to civilians. Only 2,000 loyal Federati call it home. This Tech Level 10 100,000-ton station consists of a central node for civilians with 4 specialist nacelles branching off: corporate, manufacturing, security, and research. The only non-Senlis on board are corporates, mostly GeDeCo, although the Barakai Technum has factors there as well. The Senlis population is distrustful of the megacorporates, especially in the wake of the explosion. The corporates, in turn, find the drugged and compliant population off-putting. Access to any given area is restricted to those with clearance using palm readers taking DNA and fingerprint samples. High security areas require retinal authentication. Comms traffic reveals security is strict in the wake of the explosion, that fuel line explosion from when those two rebels cleared out of there. The station shares an orbital path with Senlis' primary navy yard, the Black Bay. There, the Navy's larger ships are built and stationed, the most common ships being the Lancer corvettes. A spear of these Lancers patrols Senlis Station, keeping an eye out for trouble. If attacked, the station will call the Black Bay for reinforcements. Now, following that fuel line explosion weeks ago, that corporate nacelle suffered critical damage. Now the area is a maze of scaffolding, partially reconstructed passageways, and construction equipment, all intermittently exposed to debris-ridden space. Any turrets and cameras in the area appear to have been blown off, but Senlis would likely increase patrols to compensate. It is in this damaged section that GeDeCo's offices were held, and it is in this chaos that the data vault is located. Any surviving corporates have been relocated to the Prince's Choice, a hotel in the central ring. The target is the physical data vault in the damaged sector. The vault is a secured safe, and you will need to power the computer system on. This will trigger an alarm, but Ada's engineers expect that the hack will only take 5 minutes. She then sits and says, "Well, how do you plan on getting in?"
So, do they have active construction crews working on this section of the station?
Yes. In fact, if you want to make a comms check, you can see if you can get a hold of any traffic that might be coming to and from the station. Maybe you can pick up on some of that data. So give me a comms roll. You're going to need to beat a 10 on this one. So it's electronics comms.
Shot.
Not even close. So you do pick up little bits and pieces here and there that it is still under construction, that they have construction bots doing much of the work because it is exposed to space. So there are anyone that's working out there is in a vac suit, but the bots don't need that, and so they don't have to keep pumping oxygen in there. But vac suits break down and whatnot. Bots can run forever, so it's mostly construction bots. But there are going to be some contract work there as well. There will be probably some debris in the area as well. And so when you arrive, you'll likely be shuttled to a docking bay. If you come in, pretending to be a GeDeCo ship, which you have the codes for, you'll be taken to a docking bay. It won't be anywhere near where this place is. But once you're inside the station, you can hopefully try and work your way into there. But you're going to need.
Are they expecting any kind of supplies or anything, like a supply run?
Undoubtedly, they'll be expecting supply runs, and so you could formulate a plan that you're bringing in certain supplies. If you want to give me an admin role, you can try and check any outgoing information on. Oh, excellent. So you nailed it. So you start looking through some of the contracts for shipments, and you see that they are expecting a shipment of parts, gears, and whatnot for to enact some of these repairs, things that they don't have on station and that they don't have access to in Senlis. These are coming from Mogin, but the parts aren't expected for a couple of days, so they're not here yet, and you likely have a small window before they arrive that you could pretend to be that ship, and you actually get the name of the ship that's coming in, and it is the Good Chance is the name of the vessel that's coming in, and you can easily, with a computer's roll, adjust your ship so that your beacons, that everything matches the Good Chance. And you nailed it. Perfect. So as of now, you're flying in the Good Chance. Now Ada is going to stay back. She's not going to take the Aurora's Fortune in. She's going to let you guys go ahead. But now on the Exton Ridge, which is for all intents and purposes the Good Chance, you can approach under the guise of bringing in cargo. The problem.
Can I ask Ada to basically give us some of those parts to make it look like we're actually carrying some parts over?
Yeah, and so that can absolutely be done. Now, she doesn't have all of those parts, but she's got some storage crates and containers that have other things in them, and you can fabricate, basically like a QR code that can come in and scan, or RFID, and find out what's in there, and you'd be able to rig that up. That's going to be another check on that. That's going to be another admin check. Why don't you give me another admin, Aaron? And you can add +1 to this.
Okay.
Oh, nice. On a roll. Yeah. So you get it. You've got maybe 10 tons of equipment in shipping containers now on the Good Chance, and they're all marked as these parts from Mogin. And so this is definitely a good means to get in. What other ideas do you guys have?
Well, if the area we need to get to is under construction, I was thinking of posing as a construction worker. But there might be better options.
Well, and kind of like with the grav train, do you guys want to split up?
The thing is, most of the construction crew are bots, so you're gonna draw attention by being a human crew there.
There are some human crew, but not many. And so it may be a small group, and they may not recognize you. Maybe the only issue, it would make the difficulty a little higher. But if you want to, from here, just like you did with the grav train, I think you guys hacked into the computer and essentially made you an employee. You could do that as well. That would be a computer's role, electronic computer's role, if you want to try and do that.
We can split. I mean, we're supposed to grab something while someone's doing the data hacking thing. So you got one team can do the hacking and stuff while I create a diversion by stealing something.
Yeah, they want something stolen so it looks like a theft. That way they don't go snooping around the contract.
If you guys want to do that, I'm fine with that.
Chief, what do you think?
Well, Chief is eager to be useful, but he is not a people person. He's not a fast talker.
No.
If people start asking him questions, it's going to be problematic. So he's kind of concerned. He's relatively stealthy, but not social.
Yeah. Well, do you want to
be? That's a good thing, because I'm good at talking, so you can just stay behind me while I do the talking.
So do you want to have some people go in kind of stealthily and try and hack into this vault? I mean, ultimately that's probably what you're going to have to do is do it undetected, but it's just how do you approach it?
I do like the idea of Chief being nearby the talker so that he's, useful but not fish in what is it? Fish out of water? Yeah.
Yeah. As long as no one asks you any questions, you'll be just fine. And what about Ulysses? Now you're the pilot of the Exton Ridge /
Good Chance.
Good Chance. Yeah, I already forgot the Good Chance. What would you? What's your thinking? How do you feel the best way to accomplish this would be? Oh, are you muted? Are you with us? Oh, it might not be there. Well, let's jump to maybe to Ellis.
I like the idea of splitting up. I think it would probably be wise in case, one group gets caught and the other group could still carry out the mission, maybe undetected. So I think that would be a good idea.
Mind you, I'll be on the thief part of this, and I'll create as much diversion as I can. So the chances of me getting caught are higher than you guys. I'm trying to create as much ruckus as I can and draw their attention with my thieving.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's perfect. Yeah, Chief would love to help with that. In fact, could he get like I guess I'm not gonna be able to bring a carbine on board. Would Ada be
We can
willing to
hide.
part with
We can
some-
hide stuff. Since my role is so good on admin, we can hide stuff in the crates if you want. I mean, I have a +3 on average success, so sure we can hide something in the crates for you if you want.
What are the odds to search every crate?
Right? They will randomly probably choose one or two, but how lucky are you feeling?
That's the question.
Do you want to try and stash some arms?
Oh, for sure, yeah. Explosive arms, anything that like basically create a non-noise and
Chief
make
has a
them
frag
think
grenade.
we're like a really big threat.
So explosive wise, Ada does have some plastic explosives that she will that she can give you. You've got your regular weapons that you have. Oh, there we go. Frag grenade for Chief. To stash these in the crates is going to be a stealth roll, but you get to add the chain bonus of +2 from that admin roll, because you're not just hiding them in the crates, but you're hiding the in the code, so when they scan it, that everything seems to. Oh, look at that! Awesome. This is why we bring Arenvate. So yeah, you get these things secreted in some of the crates, and the crates are 1-ton cargo crates. There's 10 of them. How many crates do you put weapons into?
How many? So there's 10 in total. I'll put
Yes.
weapons and bombs in 3 of them.
Nice. 3 of the 10.
Yeah,
Excellent.
3 out of 10.
And Ulysses, are you with us? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, there I can hear you. Excellent. What would Ulysses do in all of this?
Well, Ulysses was thinking along the same lines as Sir Delamont, that perhaps trying to sneak in with the construction crews would be a good idea, but he's willing to do anything right now.
Sounds like maybe trying to fake being an employee might be easier.
That's our plan. Ulysses will go along with that.
So, what's your? I would have a plan B as well, and then I would have your emergency, like your escape plan as well. Let's come with those. So, just like with the grav train robbery, the crux of this adventure is this planning part, trying to determine exactly how you want to go about this, and then we will run through it. So make sure you have, if the proverbial feces hits the fan, what do you do, and what do you do if you try to reach an area and you can't access it? What's your plan B? So plan A, it sounds like, is you're looking like you are a shipping or a merchant bringing in a shipment of parts, and then once you get on board. You're going to deliver those parts, or what will you specifically be doing once you are on the station?
So there's like 2 components. We're delivering cargo and also delivering human resources to the station as construction crew.
And then the construction crew, that's going to be Chief and Ulysses and and Ellis, are you part of the, or are all of you part of the construction crew?
No, I'm gonna go off and do the thieving. I'm gonna but I have no plan because I don't know what's on the station is the most valuable. So
but you'll just be looking for something valuable.
Yeah.
Got it.
I'll be actively looking for something valuable, and I'll be trying to create as much noise as I can while I'm sealing this thing. While I'm doing comm check with the team to make sure once they're getting ready to start hacking, I'll do the thieving part.
So all the attention is on you, and hopefully then the others can get in and hack the vault. So is anyone going with Aaron, or is the rest going to go to the vault?
Well, does he want someone with him to, like, cover him if things go wrong, or just is he fine going by himself?
I don't mind either way. But mind you, I don't have a plan B. As in, I'll just be like, because I don't know I'm stealing, so I'm just gonna like go as I make up plan as I go, kind of thing, like Captain Jack Sparrow.
Nice. You've already got what Traveler's all about. So it's basically, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I'm doing it. So fantastic.
Are there soldiers on board the station, like some sort of security
There,
task force?
there
or something?
is indeed. So this is a highly secure area. I mean, there are some civilians here, but there's a lot of Senlis security on the station, especially after that explosion. Yep, and so as Luke just pointed out, the security points have palm readers taking DNA and fingerprint samples, and high security areas require retinal scans and voice authentication. And the station is on alert after that explosion. So how do you want to bypass that?
Well, see, I'm thinking more like actual like soldiers, not like
boots?
the,
Yep.
the system itself.
Yep, so
Yes.
there will be people. And yep, around the station there are Lancer corvettes. These are ships larger than ours that actually have weapons. And so if we are looking suspicious, they will treat us with suspicion. And if they catch us nosing around with our ship where we shouldn't be, they will come and investigate.
Well, because I'm wondering if we have one of us get some sort of soldier's uniform, if that would gain us more access and people would ask
Absolutely.
less questions.
Yep, absolutely.
Than just construction crew.
Can Ada give us any like their uniforms?
So she would not have. Well, that's not true. She would have some mock-ups of the Senlis uniforms. They may not. They may pass. If walking by someone, but if someone were to like really pay close attention, they may not pass muster. And so there would be a roll involved in that, basically like a deception roll. I'd give you a modifier because you do have the uniform, but it may be, like, hey, you're supposed to have like, pleats on these leggings, you're supposed to blouse those pants, and so they may not be exact, but they're based on the best information that she has as far as what's most current. And she's got 2 of those uniforms. They can be tailored to fit whoever they need to fit. You could also, like we did with the grav train, I think we hacked into the system and basically made 2 people employees, and then they could just go and pick up their equipment. But then you have to bluff your way through, and what's your backstory? How come you're here? How come we've never heard of you? Oh, hey, look, here you are on the computer. That's weird. And there may be some scrutiny there. But those are some options. You could either wear the uniform she's got, or you could try to get your own.
Aaron wants to get one of those uniforms and wear it beneath his clothes so he can change it in and out really quickly
Perfect.
once he gets onto the station.
So you would probably have like a vac suit that you would wear while you're getting into the station. You may not have your mask on, but you would look very basically camouflaged in plain sight wearing your vac suit, and then you could find someplace, ditch the vac suit, and be in your uniform. So does anyone else want one of the security uniforms?
If they're easy to put on
Yeah.
and they don't look suspicious under your clothes, I think Sir Dalamont would go for one too, just in case.
Yeah, they're thin enough. They're basically just thin, light material. They're not armor at all. They're just like dress uniform, or not really dress. I guess more like fatigues, like military fatigue uniform. You could easily put it on under your vac suit, and then you could take a change of pants, or if you like, and this would probably be a roll, you could have them maybe fashion the suit so like the pants are reversible, so you could turn them inside out, and now they look like construction worker pants, complete with grease and everything. I think that might be actually kind of a cool idea. Let's see what would I have you roll for that. That would probably be either deception or streetwise. And so Sir Dalamont, if you want to, I think your deception is actually pretty good.
We'll go with deception.
Nice. Yeah, easily done. They come up with a set of clothes for you that are reversible like that. You can easily turn the jacket inside out, and it looks like a work jacket. Turn it around the other way, and it's like a fatigue jacket. And same with the pants. So within 30 seconds, you could probably change your appearance to go from one to the other.
And by default, is he just kind of wearing the back suit?
Yeah, you'd have the vac suit on over it. So do you want to go in with the security suit facing out or with the construction suit facing out?
We'll do the construction suit facing out. If it can pass as kind of almost a warehouse worker.
Yeah, absolutely. For the team that's going to go into the vault, Luke, you bring up the security issues. There's biometric readers, palm, DNA, fingerprint, retina scan, voice authentication. How are you going to bypass that?
Would an electronic pulse generator be able to disable all of that to where we could pry the doors open if we had to?
I'm going to say you don't know until you're there. It depends on the system. There's a chance that it goes into like emergency mode where it just locks down all the bulkheads. And so like if there's a leak or something, it can lock everything and then you cannot get through the doors except for with a torch. Or it may go into an emergency mode so that they can evacuate, in which case the doors would be open. You won't know till you're there.
And would using a torch set off any sort of alarm system?
It's possible, but if the alarm's already going off, then it probably doesn't matter. I think Ada did say that when you access the vault, that let's see, yeah, when
trigger the alarm.
Yeah, when you power on the computer for the vault, it's going to trigger the alarm. So there's going to be an alarm at some point, regardless. But it should only be a 5-minute window where you can power that on, change the contract.
Hopefully, I'll create enough noise that won't even matter. They won't even hear the alarm with all the explosions and what else the chaos I'm trying to create in the station.
Absolutely.
So we'll definitely want to bring some of the like plasma cutter things.
Perfect. So you can get some torches, some plasma cutters. There'll be lots of basic tools, and in fact there'll probably even be plasma cutters there since they're doing construction. If you need additional ones, I'm sure you could find them on station, but it might be worth taking one just to be safe. And plus, if you're dressed up as a construction worker and you're dragging around on a acetylene tank or something, that's not going to be out of the ordinary.
Yeah. So the worst possible case is the alarm goes off and we cut our way in to where we need to go.
Yep. So is the plan to get past the biometric security? Is that just to disable the computer system?
Would it be possible for us to put ourselves into the security system?
You definitely can. That's going to take a roll, and Ellis, that's going to be a computer's roll. So electronics computers to get in and hack that. And you're going to need to beat a 10.
Okay. Oh, no.
No. So you get in and you can find the secure area, but it is it's encrypted and you don't have the passcode. There's a good chance that if you're at a station, a computer console on the station, that you might have an easier time accessing that, but remotely it seems to be pretty difficult to get in there.
Okay.
But that could be, once you're on station, hack into the computer network and add your retina, voice, and fingerprints to the system.
Yeah.
I want to do a VIP check to see if what's the like high value personnel that's on the station? Who's the most senior and all that stuff, if that's possible?
Absolutely. That's going to be a. Let's do an admin role for that.
Another one. Oh, God.
Another one.
I'm the admin specialist or something. I'm like admin everything.
Ooh, just missed. However, you do find there's a roster of higher ups that may be on the station, and one of them, it says from time to time, is actually the High Prince of Senlis. It doesn't say if he's on there now, but it sounds like there's a chance that he could be on there, and his name is drawing a total blank. Ilor Northgate. That's it. And in fact, and you can see a picture of High Prince Ilor Northgate, and I will put that in the chat.
I'm gonna tell the team that if you can get his DNA and whatever, or kidnap him, you'll probably get into any door in this police station.
Oh, absolutely.
so yeah.
Now, you don't know if he's on station, but he does have an office on station. There's also some offices for higher-ups in GeDeCo, but it sounds like they have been moved to the main hotel because of the explosion. So they've been they're not going to be in the GeDeCo section, but you could go to the Prince's Choice, which is a hotel in the central ring, which is where the people tend to, or where they're staying now, versus being in their section.
Can I use like the interstellar version of like Google and find out this prince, like what is his most valuable possession is, like in terms of what he owns? Is that possible?
Sure. That you don't even need much of a role for that. There's information on him, and he has a scepter, and this has been passed down from generation to generation. It is a symbol of the high princes, and this scepter you'll find pictures of him.
Can I have an image of it, or like a?
Yeah. So I don't have an image of it offhand, but it's a rod, maybe about 30 centimeters long or so, and it looks like it is it looks like it's gold, but it's probably gold plated, and it has an eagle on the end of the rod, and there's countless photos of him seated on his throne holding this scepter, of his father and grandfather holding the scepter as well. This seems to be the thing that denotes, the High Prince is this scepter.
Does it have like a radioactive I don't know, like any kind of signature I can use to find this thing if it's available?
No, in fact, it's very old, and so there's nothing electronic in it. There's no radioactive signature. It's benign, and so it's almost like it's an artifact of an older age on Senlis, probably from the time of Sindal over 1,000 years ago. Is how long this thing's been going around.
I'll put it on that list of things I might steal if I can't find it.
To steal that, you would have everyone after you if you can steal that.
Exactly.
All right, what's the escape plan if things go south, or even if you succeed? How are you getting off the station?
Aaron is going to tell the team that he's probably going to make his own way to escape, like rather than rendezvousing them, because he is going to try and draw the attention as he escapes, so that it creates more of a diversion for them to get out.
Perfect.
Because that's the primary mission of trying to get the data vault things. Sorted.
Yeah, if you can get that information, that's what matters. And then maybe you go into hiding and find your own way off. There's going to be shuttles that go from the station down to Senlis periodically, and there's other ships that will be docked there, bringing in supplies and things like that. So you could do your best to try and stow aboard another ship if you had to. What about Ulysses? What are you going to do with the Good Chance? What's the plan to get off?
Well, I guess once we've gotten into the data vault, I can start making my way back to the ship. Maybe before the alarm's been raised, and I can get everything warmed up, and then wait for the rest of the crew to get to the ship, and then we can just blast our way out, I guess, and make a quick jump. Try and lose the corvettes. I think that would be our best option.
So the plan for Ada, she said the rendezvous is Orsosh, so you'll need to. That's where you will jump to once everybody's off the station and you've got the contract change. You'll jump to Orsosh. You need to be 100 diameters away from Senlis before you can do that. Otherwise, you risk a missed jump. And it'll take you a couple hours to do that, so hopefully you're not being pursued. If you're being pursued, then you have the option of hoping that your ship can hold together as it takes plasma fire from the turrets on the corvettes, or you risk a missed jump and just punch it and hope that you don't drift into a star or something like that.
Well, I've never had a missed jump before, so there's no reason to think it'll happen now.
Right, it's never happened before. Why would it happen now? Now, as any other planning that you want to do, you still have a little time before you get to the station.
Dalmont will kind of make a powder that could maybe make somebody pretty woozy or maybe even unconscious.
Oh, I like it. Yeah, give me a medic roll. You got it. You got some purple knockout gas or something.
Also, can we look to see if there may be any delivery orders for us to pick up, like a delivery to Orsosh from our current station?
Yeah, give me an admin roll, Sir Dalamont, as you're checking this information. Yes, it's not a delivery of materials, but it's a delivery of men. You're supposed to be bringing another presence of security force to Orsosh to replace those that you killed when you attacked the convoy. And so it will be security that is heading from there. But you could easily kind of adjust the documentation so it looks like that's what you're taking as a security force, reinforcements.
So maybe
it's going to be harder to pass, if they want to inspect you and you don't have those people on board. But if they're just scanning you, maybe you can fake that.
Okay, so worst case, maybe we try to say that the security force needs to be on that planet right away as we're trying to make our escape.
Yep. So that could be some cover there. Anything else you want to do before you approach the station?
I want to Google or trying to find the training manual for the security force that I'm trying to pretend as. Maybe get some,
Yeah, that would be
how they wore. Yeah, sure. A lot of admin in this game.
It's like library use in Call of Cthulhu. We're always at the library. You do find a manual, but it's pretty basic. It doesn't have any specific information as far as passphrases or things like that. But it's mostly expectations, job requirements, job duties, things like that. There's some appointment rosters, what time this watch starts and whatnot. But there's nothing that might be vital like passphrases or things like that.
Okay.
All right.
On the main ship, the Lady Ada's ship, do you think we could get some of those engineers to set up some sort of practice run for us? We can run through this a few times and get the layout down of where we're headed to.
Yeah, so she could set up maybe some security issues with the vault. When you power it on, maybe practicing putting in that data card to switch the information so you can check on the timing and just kind of get used to that pressure. And you go through that a couple of times. Again, you've got hours before you reach the station. And so going through that is going to actually give you a bonus at some point in the plan. I'm going to throw out some random +1, +2 bonuses for having practiced this run. And maybe you do practice runs with some of the rebels on the ship, as far as trying to bluff your way past security points and things like that. And maybe you do practice runs on trying to disable the biometric security. And so doing all that, spending the time doing that, is going to give you some bonuses later on. So well done with that.
Can I also practice a disguise, like created some disguise that make me look like the prince?
Yes.
Like a wig, face mask, that sort of thing. Like,
yep,
yeah.
Absolutely. And so if you want to, you practice doing that, and when it comes time, that's going to help you. That'll give you either a bonus die. I'm not sure if I'll do a bonus die or like a dice modifier on probably like a streetwise roll to try and fit in. But I'll throw a modifier in there for you as you practice.
Cool.
Putting on the disguise and marching around. Maybe you watch some videos of the specific way that they stand and the way that they.
I'll watch some video of the prince like giving a speech. Maybe just like learn his talking style.
Oh yeah,
sort of
and it's very dictatorial as he's talking. You can tell this is a guy that cult of personality. That the people you see people at these speeches and they're just enraptured by the things he's saying, and he's basically just saying a lot of nonsense. But talking about how Senlis has broken away from Sindal and chased away the evil empire 1,000 years ago, and they'll chase away the Third Imperium now, and people just eat it up. Basically, Senlis is like, this little tiny, squat backwater system, but he's making it out like they're about to take over the whole of the Trojan Reach, and the people just lap it up. And so you get the feeling that he is definitely a bit of a dictator. And anyone that's going to drug the water to make the people more compliant is probably a dictator anyway. As you approach the station, you begin to see it as you get in. And I'm going to have one of you give me a tactics naval roll. I'm not sure who's the best at that. I don't know if Ellis, you don't have any of that. I don't think Ulysses has any tactics.
They all suck. I'll do a roll.
Perfect. Yeah, let's have Aaron do a tactics naval roll.
Yeah.
As you're watching, you see these Lancer corvettes, and I can send you some data on them. Let's see. These Lancer corvettes, you see these ships flying about, and you can see the turret on top that has the weapons, and you know that those weapons, those are not just for show, but that those are fully functional, and that there could be issues if you can't bluff your way onto the ship or onto the station. Now, from here, you can see that there is a section of the space station over here on the right-hand side that. Let me grab this. Wrong tool. That shows damage. You can see this must be where that ruptured fuel line was, and you can see the spark and flash occasionally of the construction bots as they're working in there. And the bots are small. They're roughly half size of a person. They've got little claw grabber arms and small cutting torches on the other appendage. And I think I've even got a picture. Yeah, let me post this. As you get close, there's debris everywhere and small little shuttles moving back and forth through some of the larger areas. You see the still some flames from fires that have not been fully extinguished, and other flames that are basically just the cutting and welding of these small bots. But a lot of activity there, but you don't see any people as you come by that section. All you see are the bots. You are hailed by the station, and you are ordered. They say, "Good chance. Give us your name and business. What is the reason for your presence?" And this is directed to Ulysses.
Well, does Delamont want to take the comms? I think he's...
Delamont's much better at this.
talking.
Allow me. We are GeDeCo, here to deliver goods.
Hold one moment. Please transmit your documentation. This is going to be a check. This is going to be either deception, admin, or broker. And you're going to get a +2 bonus on this.
Deception. +2 bonus?
+2.
Oh.
Let's see, one moment. We're not expecting you for a few days yet. We don't have a spot for you. Please stay nearby. We will find you a bay.
Alright, good. I think we're carrying some construction materials for some of the repairs, and they wanted a rush order on it, so we got here as soon as we could for them.
Ah, got it. Please proceed to docking bay 6. Once there, a trio of agents will board your ship to complete inspection. We advise you and your crew to stay in the hotel with the rest of the corporates. And you see lights for docking bay 6 begin to light up.
Before they board, Aaron's gonna try and climb into one of the crates and be in the crate.
Perfect. And you don't even need to make a roll for that. Yeah, you're able to get into the crate. Ulysses, you're flying the ship. This will be a piloting roll. Got it. You bring the ship in, and as you get close, you can see a small viewing window. And you see a few faces peering out at you, and they're talking to each other and pointing at your ship, and they're looking down at a screen, and one guy kind of throws up his hands like, I don't know. And then he gets on a comm, and you can see him talking, but you can't hear what he's saying. And then you see a security crew walk out into that bay. They're wearing vac suits, they've got rifles, and they're waving you into the bay. And as you dock, the security crew pounds on the airlock to get into your ship. Do you open the lock?
Yeah, we want everything to look normal here. I'll open up the lock.
Now, the station's security force is well trained, and they are chemically dosed to ensure vigilance. After they failed to stop that recent explosion, you know that they probably lost the favor of the High Prince. And wanting to redeem themselves, they're going to be thorough. And they enter your ship, and they go up to the cockpit and says, "Please step out that we can perform the inspection. We need all of your documentation in order. We need to make scans of your palm prints, voice recognition, and retinas for our system so we can track where you go in the station. Please step forward one at a time." And they go to Delamont first. Do you submit to this?
This is ridiculous. I wasn't informed of this ahead of time.
Ooh. Well,
I've delivered to stations across every government in the galaxy, and I've never been treated this way. Do you know who my family is? Do you know who my father is?
ooh. They look at each other. Sir, no. Have you got any documentation?
You can't recognize me by sight alone?
Nice. Give me a persuade roll.
Just don't ask why he's here on this ship.
Nice. They look at each other and they're like, "Sir, routine business. Look, we had some trouble here recently. We're just trying to keep tabs on everyone.
Well, look, Elor paid us extra money directly so that we could come here faster to get these boxes unloaded, to get the construction back on schedule, to get the station repaired. Are you going to get in our way, or do I need to make a phone call?
You see him take a step backwards, and once he steps back, you know you've won. Once the dog backs down, you know the fight's over. And he takes a step backwards. He's unsure of himself, and he looks at his partners and he says, "Let's just get the stuff out of here. Look, we're going to escort you to the hotel. It's comfortable. You're guests here, but we are on high security detail. Please allow us to accompany you while we search your ship. Your ship will be fine. We will ensure that no one tampers with anything in the ship. Now, please, if you'll follow us, we'll take you there."
It's the way it should be. And I'd like to know the name of the finest restaurant aboard the station.
Oh, well, you're going to want to go to the Lunar Crust, of course. They have the finest in desserts. The best ice cream in the Senlis Foederate is at the Lunar Crust. If you want steak, if you want something else, you're going to be hard pressed to find anything better than the Lunar Crust. They have a small restaurant on the side where they serve some of the bovine species that are native to the Senlis Foederate. Fantastic meat. You'll be enthused to try this out. But definitely go to the Lunar Crust. You'll thank me later for it, sir.
Well, thank you for the recommendation. I'm a bit of a foodie. I try new dishes everywhere I go, and I've been many places.
Well, we hope that your stay at Senlis Station is a peaceful one. And thank you for rushing these supplies. We're eager to get things back to normal, and the High Prince does not tolerate delays, so it will be good if we can beat the deadline here. Now, please, let us escort you. And you see them lower their rifles as he offers to guide you to the corporate center, while the other two fellows are going to do a scan of the ship. Does anyone do anything before you leave the ship? All of your weapons and stuff is in the supply crates, along with Vate. Did the rest of you go without any delay?
I think that's the best thing to do.
I think we'll kind of lollygag our way back to make sure that we're behind the security force. Kind of want to see where they're bringing the crates, or at least what direction,
Okay.
if they are unloading them.
So you're currently docked on this large spur that's jutting out of the ring, and the hotel is this one over here. So it's actually taking you closer to GeDeCo, where you need to be. And as they take you through the station, you witness a few things. First of all, you notice that much of the station seems to be under heightened security. You also notice that there are maintenance tunnels here and there. You see construction workers coming out of these maintenance tunnels, cable runs, passages that are underneath the station flooring. There's also some in the wall panels. You see a few guys replacing wall panels. You can see runs of cables and pipes through there. The central node where you enter in to walk to the hotel is primarily common spaces, living quarters, and light commercial districts. Aesthetically, it tries to be impressive, utilizing a militaristic take on post-Sindal architecture to create something neo-Gothic. But there are too many concessions to really sell it. What surprises you is that how, if this were an imperial station, it would be filled with advertisements. But on this station, it's filled with propaganda. And much of the propaganda depicts the Imperium as a snarling beast that Senlis is courageously standing against. And the local broadcasts on the small monitors along the walls as you walk by, it's kind of in the same vein, but it has a very high anti-rebellion feature. Much of the studies, or the stories, are about how the rebels how the Senlis forces on Magan successfully destroyed the Red Rock base and captured all of the rebels and their valuable information, which you know to be false, as well as how an attempt was made on a prison convoy on Orsach, and it was fought back with the death of many rebels, and the High Prince, Aelor Northgate, he gave a pompous victory speech from his throne room, much broadcasting about the heroic assault on that rebel base that you know is absolute fabrication. The people on station, many of the civilians, are enthusiastically loyal, and they seem to be happy to be here, even if their water wasn't filled with psychotropic drugs. The general mood is that of zeal and a little bit of paranoia that gives everyone kind of a glassy look to their eyes. But here and there you do see some signs of humanity. A pair of young couples holding hands as they walk through the hall. And some federati that line up excitedly at a new spicy noodle bar. And a band of children running around playing hide and seek. So it's not all evil empire here. There are oases of goodness amongst the bad. When you near the Prince's Choice Hotel, you see the Lunar Crust for the first time. This amazing looking ice cream parlor, and it's bustling with people. And the folks at the counters can barely keep up with the orders. They show you the Lunar Crust, they show you some of the other restaurants, and then they take you to the hotel, where they say you just need to check in, and then your stay will be comfortable, and they will let you know when they have unloaded the ship. Anything you do before we jump to Aran? All right, let's jump to Aran. You are secreted in one of the crates, and you hear the voices die down as everyone leaves the ship, and then you can hear the stomping of boots as the soldiers are investigating the ship. You can actually hear them removing panels in the wall, looking inside the panels. They're not really speaking, but you can hear the sound of tools. And then those boots get close as they're in the storage bay. And you can hear the click of the scanners as they scan the storage crates, including the one that you're in. And then you hear them say, "Everything seems to check out. Let's get a crew in here to unload this." And they radio in for a crew. About 20 minutes later, you feel your crate being jostled as it is moved off of the Good Chance. And it is taken out of the bay, and then you feel it set down, and you can hear the sound of others being stacked, and you realize now, oh, I hope they don't stack crates on top of me. But then that panic begins to subside as the sound subsides, and you try to get out and find that you are indeed able to get out of the crate. Now, this crate did have some equipment in it. You also have your uniform. How do you proceed from here? You're in a A small storage warehouse.
So what guns do they provide? That inside the crate, what like bombs, explosives, that sort of thing.
So inside this crate, let me throw some equipment on your character. You're going to have I'm going to put a frag grenade on your character. And there is a auto pistol on your character as well.
Oh, cool. So I'm gonna go make my way towards like a information unit and just see what's up with the station. Like, what's the news on the station?
There's a console in this small warehouse, and you can go over and gain access to it. It will take a little bit of hacking to get into what you're looking for. So that's a electronics computers role, and give yourself a bonus die because you are in a not a fully secured area. Got it. What are you looking for?
Any news on like the prince is on the station? Sort of, does they have any festivals? So any news of like, also like any rioting news? Like, is people unhappy or?
It looks like the prince was on the station, but after that fuel line explosion, he was sent back to Senlis. So he is not currently on station.
Damn. Okay.
Oh, sorry. It sounds like Luke was leaving the frag grenade for the distraction. So if you need that to distract Aaron, you have that grenade. Which nothing says distraction like a grenade going off.
Exactly.
All right.
You also find that so the prince is not on station, but the mood is uneasy. The people are a little on edge because, you know, if that explosion can happen here, what if it was worse? What if there's more explosions? You know, how do we prevent this? A ruptured fuel line, like what's going on? It seems as though the people are a little bit uneasy about the situation, and so you can see where it looks like more pacifying drugs have been added to the local water supply on station, and so it seems like the people on station are being drugged more just to keep them calm, but otherwise there may be a riot on their hands.
Right, so I want to turn that pacifying drug into like aggressive drug. Where would I go to do that?
That would be so right here on the computer roll. I'm going to let you make a medic roll, so you can add your chain bonus of +2. So give me a medic roll with a +2 to try and determine what chemical compounds you would put in the water. Nailed it. You put like straight heroin in the water. You know, probably crack cocaine is what you do. Yeah, let's just change this from, you know, Xanax to heroin. Sweet. And you change it over to get people agitated, and you get this punched in, and it seems to start going through. You see the system recognize it, accept it, and begin to process it. You can see the little countdown as it's, you know, the percent of the system, the adjustments as they're being made in real time.
Yeah, I hope no babies drink this. That's what I
right.
Said.
You find a drinking fountain on the way out. Oh gosh, I'm really thirsty.
Yeah, no, not drinking that.
Where do you go from here?
So does it have a map where would I see the maximum security as apart from the data vault? Like where would the next available security, high security areas?
So where you're at now is you're actually a little bit closer to the damage section. You're over here. This would be like the hotel. So you're actually closer to that than everyone else. And it looks like most of the security is now over in this area to keep people out. There's also a huge security force over on the other side of the ring. It looks like that might be the main security area is over there.
Oh, that will be like where a vault will be, like a valuable vault, or a bank or something.
So there's actually banks all throughout the ring. So there would be various banks and vaults throughout the ring. There's not a bank here by GeDeCo, but there is one kind of back by where we docked our ship. There would be a bank that would store credit transfers whatnot. There may not actually be credits per se that you could steal, but if you sabotage the bank, that may be enough to be a distraction.
What about like, do they have any like exhibit, like a museum or anything, like a precious,
Yes.
valuable?
Yep, absolutely. That's going to be up here. So up here there is there's a room that the High Prince uses when he's here on the station to hold meetings, and in that room there's significant paraphernalia that the Prince would use, and if some of that were to go missing, they would tear the station apart looking for it.
What would be like the most valuable paraphernalia there?
It's probably his cape. He's a dictator. He wears a cape. He has a cape of office that he wears when he's on station. And this cape, you noticed it in many of the pictures that he's wearing the cape. And that's likely still here. He probably has one here as well as several on Senlis. But if you were to take that cape, people would notice.
Okay. Yeah, like what about the media station? Like if I want to do a like system-wide, like a station-wide broadcast, where would I go do that?
That's going to be this area down here, almost all the way across the ring, is where the propaganda offices are.
Cool. So yeah, I'll make my way towards that, towards where the cape is located.
Okay. And are you wearing your security outfit right now?
Not yet. I'll probably wear my not right now. When I need to, I guess I'll do my change.
Okay. Do you just have like your vac suit on, or do you have?
Yeah, I'm vac suit.
Okay, perfect.
Well, if everybody else is wearing a vac suit, I don't think that would be. Yeah, I'll try and blend in.
You see a lot of people in vac suits, especially because there is damage on this side of the sector, and should something else happen, they want to be prepared. If you get like into the hotel, no one's wearing a vac suit in the hotel. No one in the restaurants are wearing vac suits. But anyone that is near the construction area will have one on. Let's jump to the next group. So this would be everyone else. You've been taken to the hotel. Where do you go from here?
Well, now that we're here, it looks like other than impersonating somebody, we could potentially try and go through one of these service hallways to get where we need to go.
Yeah, so you could actually get into some of those little crawl spaces and areas, and you would most likely be able to get into the construction area undetected. It's a bit of a maze, and so there's a little table I can have you roll on to get there. Does everyone want to do that? Or do you guys want to split up?
If we all go, is there could we find like a hand cart or some crates or just something to carry so that no one thinks to ask us any questions?
Yep. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking of maybe forging some document showing that we're an inspector, maybe from the High Prince's office.
Okay. That would be you guessed it, an admin role. Nice. Just barely. Yeah, so you forge these papers, they will pass muster. Even if you show them to the security system, they will likely let you by as you're there to do an inspection. Now, are you inspecting the repairs? Is that what you're there for?
Yeah, every room, I was thinking.
Okay.
Repairs.
Ulysses, you're able to find a hand cart and some boxes you can put on there. There's some tools and things like that, but that would add to your disguise. What about Chief?
I like that idea with the, I don't know, some kind of like crate or toolbox or something just to carry along. Yeah, I think Chief would want to tag along.
Okay. You grab a toolbox and maybe a little work light that you can bring with you. And Ellis.
I guess I'll just kind of go with the same thing.
Okay. So between the destruction and the partial reconstruction, the area is a chaotic mess. And some areas are in better condition than others, but some may lack pressure, may lack gravity, light, or power. To navigate this three-dimensional maze of construction will require some checks. So you can either make, if you have the profession civil engineering skill, which I don't think any of you do, or navigation. And after you make a check, I've got a table that I'll roll on, and then once you've gotten the cumulative effect of 8 or higher on these checks, so it may take 1 or 2 or 5 checks, you will find where you're looking for. So, who wants to do a navigation check first?
Elmont got lost on his way to the bathroom.
Bluetooth has a -2 for navigation.
Well, I will give you a bonus because you are dressed like construction workers, and so people might help to guide you and say, "Hey, we've been waiting for those tools over there." And so I'm going to give you. You can roll that with a boon dice. Well, that was terrible. Okay, so let me roll some dice and see where we end up. So we got a 4 and a 2. So you find a section that has machinery and equipment, and it seems to be undamaged, but it's inoperable. And there's a locked door that's going to require you getting through this locked door. It's definitely doable, but how do you get through it? Ulysses?
I'm not exactly sure. Is there a control panel or something?
Yeah, you can see a panel right to the side. It looks like this would take like a palm reader. Put your palm up against it to let you in. They did not do a scan of your palm. You guys fought your way through that. You probably for the best. You don't want them knowing where you're going. But your palm's not going to work to open that. You're going to have to hack that. That's going to be an electronics computers roll.
Well, these boxes are full of tools. Could we just open up the hardware and just short circuit it or something?
Yep, you sure can. So if you want to do that, that's going to be a different roll. That's going to be a mechanic roll.
Have we seen people kind of going in and out, or is it pretty dead over
Not through
here?
this door. It's pretty dead. But Ulysses, you get the door open, and once you get it open, it looks like this had shut. There's nothing in the next area. It's just another hallway. You don't know why this door might have been shut, but it's open now, and you're able to get through it. Let me have another one of you make a navigation check for me. Maybe Chief?
Chief also has a -2. Do we all have a -2?
Probably. But you'll get a
Some
boon.
of us have a
on it.
-3.
Yeah.
You'll get a boon on the roll.
Okay.
Well, it didn't matter. You got the same thing. But you come up to a 6 and a 3. You come up into an area where there's some damage. You can see the hallway, probably why that door was shut. After about another 50 meters or so, looks like compression damage in the hallway. Part of the hall has been collapsed in on itself, and you can see sparks coming from wires here and there. This area has not been a high priority, but they probably closed this down just so no one got hurt as they come through here, and it just takes you a little extra time to get by. As you move through this section, Chief, give me a recon roll. Nice.
Just about.
As you go through the section, some lights begin to flicker, and then a door cycles open to a dark corridor, but you didn't see any motion sensors that might have been tripped. And then coming across the local PA, small speakers in this hallway, you hear a voice. And I'm going to play an audio track.
Not technicians. Not logged. What are you doing here, shadows?
Let me actually turn the music down, make sure we can hear this. I'm going to play that again.
Curious. Not technicians. Not logged. What are you doing here, shadows?
Could you hear that?
Yep.
So it said, curious, not technicians, not logged. What are you doing here, little shadows? As though speaking to itself. But you heard this voice come over the comms.
Construction inspectors.
No insignia, no clearance. This isn't a routine inspection.
No, it's not. It was a personal request.
A door at the end of the hallway opens.
Just looking around for like cameras and stuff. How are they seeing where we're at?
You don't see any cameras that are openly visible, no little camera units. Doesn't mean you're not being monitored. Definitely someone is aware of your presence in here. Do you go through that door that opened?
Chief would, definitely.
Delmont would follow Chief.
Ulysses and Ellis, do you follow suit?
Might
Yeah.
as well move forward.
The door slams shut behind you and clicks as it locks, and a different one opens across the hall, leading deeper into that construction maze.
Not lost, are you? This section is under refit. You could disappear in here.
A maintenance drone begins to scuttle along a wall. Its optics are glowing. This is a small, about the size of a cat, and it can cling to walls with magnetic feet as it moves along, and those glowing eyes seem to regard you.
Don't mistake silence for mercy. I see you.
I like not being totally disappeared. If that was a threat.
The small drone regards you for a moment and then turns and scuttles through the door that opened up in front of you.
If this person has control of the doors, I don't know if we have many options.
Exactly. And, well, this doesn't seem very up to their protocol anyway, so we might as well check it out.
Ulysses would like to get that plasma torch out of the tool crates and just have that at hand.
Okay, you've got it in hand. This next section is dark, and as you enter the hallway, lights begin to flicker and glow in the hallway. And you can see that clearly something is going on with the gravity plates in the floor, because you can feel a little bit reduced gravity in here, and as you walk you feel your body weight begin to shift, and you can see small bits of debris just hovering over the surface of the floor. So the gravity plates in this have been reduced. And down the length of the hallway you see two doors, one on the right, one on the left, and they both open.
Now it had to get complicated.
Well, which doorway did that little droid go through?
You didn't see. It was dark. You couldn't tell which one it went through.
Did we hear it, like, on a certain side moving?
Yeah, let me give you a roll on that. That's going to be a recon roll.
Okay.
It sounds like it went down the left-hand side, but there's a lot of echoes in here.
Could we flip a coin?
Absolutely. Sir Dalamont pulls a coin out of his pocket, and as you flip it, as it begins to spin, it rises up, but then it never really comes down. It continues to slowly rise as you can feel the gravity changing more and more, and you feel yourself beginning to rise up off of the ground.
You're resourceful. But how resourceful when you're apart?
And then suddenly, the gravity along the end of the corridor changes, and the two people in the lead, which are going to be Dalamont and Chief, you are thrown forward as the gravity for you changes from your feet to directly in front of you, and you're flung towards the wall. I need if you have a vac suit roll, if you're trained in vac suit, have at least 0. You'll be okay. If not, you need to make a vac suit roll.
Chief's good. He's got vac suit. It's just a 0, but
Does Dalamont?
Dalamont is
yep,
too.
You do as well. So you're used to occasionally working in 0 gravity, but as it pulls you through one of the doors, and that door slams shut, and you're in darkness. Ulysses, you and Ellis are still in this hallway, and then you hear the grav plates click on, and your feet slam down to the floor, and that coin drops down and lands heads up.
Keep running. I can play this game longer than you.
Could I cut through the door that just closed with the plasma torch? I don't know how long that would take me, but it seems like it might be our best option.
Yeah. You don't need to make a roll for that. You would know how to operate a torch. As you begin to hack through, Chief, you and Sir Dalamont, you are in darkness, but you can see the glow of hot metal as that torch begins to cut through the wall. And one thing you realize is that there is no oxygen in this chamber. You can hear the pumps as it's pumping oxygen out. And you both have vac suits on, thank goodness. You did specify you kept your suits on. But you're going to need to make a vac suit roll. If you can hurry and get your mask on before you pass out.
oh, jeez.
All right, Dalamont, you're good. Chief, make an endurance roll with a -2 modifier. Nice. So, well, nice for me, not nice for you. You are going to take some endurance damage. Three points of endurance damage. But you get your mask on, but you can feel yourself almost blacking out for a moment. And with your masks on, you see the door being cut, and once it is opened up, then Ulysses, you can slam that piece through and peer in. And when you do, you see the two of them standing there now with their masks on, and you can feel oxygen being sucked from the room you're in into that chamber.
That's far enough. This is GeDeCo property. You'll leave now.
Who are you?
Let's see how you handle 4 gravities pressing your bones together.
and the grav plates turn on, and you are all crushed down to the ground. If you have vac suit, you can, or piloting, you can add whatever your skill level is. So if it's a 0, you'll add 0. If it's a 1, you'll add 1. Right? I think Ulysses might have a 2 in piloting. You can add that as a modifier. If you do not, it's just a straight endurance roll as you are crushed down to the ground by the force of 4 gravities. So each of you, the 4 of you, need to make an endurance roll. Oh my gosh, did you all make it? Wow. Okay.
Nice.
So you are all flattened on your back in here, and then you see that little drone, little creature, robot, looks almost like a little cat, as it begins to scurry over, and those eyes regard you. And then you hear the whirring of machinery as a door at the end of the hallway opens, lights come on, and construction bots pour into the space. I'm going to take you to a new map, and then we're going to take our break. So let me get tokens out here. So we've got Chief, Ellis, Sir Dalamont, and Ulysses. Let me grab some construction bots. And these little things have claw grabbers and small cutting torches on their hands. And you see all of the flames begin to turn on as they slowly advance towards you in this darkened hallway while you're being crushed flat on your back from the 4 times gravity as the grav plates are kicked on. And that's where we will take our break. Let's take like an 8-minute break, and when we get back, we will go to Aran, and we'll save this little battle here for a little bit longer. So I'll see you all in just a couple of minutes, and hopefully we survive. See you in 8 minutes.
Sense to me. I think that the DM might be out to get get me. A hero in armor and truth. Bards tell my legacy. The flame of my torch illuminates the enemy. A win in a battle, you win foes asunder. Deeper I venture, the deeper I wonder. The bodies pile up before me, the corpses I plunder. The deeper I venture, the deeper I wonder. Crafted from numbers on living paper. I skip from the mundane to a needle caper. And while in real life, my fate is unspoken. Hero roll of the dice in my fate is unspoken. I drink my last potion. I charge through the open gate. The flame of the dragon tried to seal my awful fate. With a handful of dice, 5 times I rolled 20. The dragon goes down. The DM no bloody. I leave with the princess, a satchel chock full of gold. We head to the tavern where my mighty tale unfolds. Crafted from numbers on living paper. I skip from the mundane to a naval caper. While in real life, my fate is unspoken. Hero roll of the dice in my fate is unspoken. The king he honored me with the mighty crossbow. It's blessed by the elves, he said. I thank him and I go. The life of a hero, struggling to stay alive. It's worth all the hardship though, 'cause now I'm a level 5. Level 5.
All right, I am back. Whenever everyone else is here, we'll get it started again.
I'm here.
Howdy, sir.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Ready?
Oh, looks like we're all here. Excellent. So let's go back to Aaron. So Aaron, you are still on Senlis Station. I'm just going to take us all to the station. And you're looking for that cape, correct?
Yep, I'm going to that Cape location. Yeah.
So to get past this area of construction, there's a few places where you can see security checkpoints. They don't want just anyone wandering through here because it is kind of dangerous. You could go the long way, but it's going to take you like an hour to get around the station. To
Okay, I'll strip and then take out my security uniform and stroll on through.
Perfect. As you're using the uniform, that's going to give you some bonuses, but I will still need a roll from you. Let's make that a deception roll, and give yourself a +2 for having the uniform. Oh gosh. Okay.
Nice.
The first person you come to looks at your uniform and is like, "Where'd you find that old thing? That was phased out last year."
Well, I've been like overseas, and that's all I got, and I've been in battles and stuff.
No, you don't let the sergeant see you looking like that. Oh, no. Hey, are you new here on station? I can't believe they let that fly.
Oh, totally. I was on the last service shuttle coming in. Don't know what I'm doing, really.
Give me a persuade roll. This will have your chain bonus of a -2 to try and talk your way out of this.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That's okay. We'll take 2 off of that, so it's even worse. So,
It's even worse.
he says, "Look, you need to go check in. You're gonna get in big trouble. What's your name again?"
Jack.
Jack. Totally not faking that name, are you? Well, Jack. Look, I don't know how they do things where you're from, but here we follow procedure. And if you can't follow procedure, you can ship your ass down to Orsage and be on prison duty. So I suggest you go and change your uniform right now. And I don't want to see you again unless you are dressed correctly. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Where can I get a new set of uniforms, sir?
He points down a hallway and says, "Just follow that until you reach the security area. And for crying out loud, please don't let the sergeant see you. You're on notice right now, but these things take some time. If we don't have any other problems, then maybe that notice goes away. But just oh man, where's your partner?"
My partner's already at the rendezvous location for our patrol.
Oh my goodness! Just go now. Go quickly. Go. Don't wait. Come on. And he kind of gives you a little kick in the bum as he pushes you down the hallway, and you can hear him laughing with his friends, like, new recruits, man. It's like fresh fish. You never know what you're gonna get.
I'm gonna make a slight run towards the hallway that he pointed.
Perfect. So he kind of turns and sees you hustle, and they're like, "You better hurry, and you can hear them chuckling and laughing. And once you're out of sight in the hallway, you can slow back down again. And give me a navigation roll as you find your way into where this cape is held. Oh, there we go. Nice. You find the meeting area, and the door it's shut. There's no one in there, but you can tell by the decorations in this hallway that this is not your typical hallway. All of a sudden the metal flooring plates give way to red carpet, and there's gold fixtures on the walls. And when you come up to this doorway, there's a huge portrait of the High Prince there. The doorway is locked. You need to hack your way in. There is a pad where you can do retinal scans to get into this room, or you can try to just take the door down one way or another.
I'll hack the door. So computer skill.
Yep, computers, please. Oh, nice. Yeah, you get in. It gives you, it's like the cleaning and maintenance code. So it will unlock the door, but it logs that someone came in here. But you're able to get in. They'll know someone was in here, but they may not come right away because it looks like it was an accepted code. It didn't set off any alarms. When you get in, the lights turn on with the motion sensors, and you can see there's several rows of comfortable plush chairs, and then there's a raised podium with a huge ornate chair. It's got gold filigree, well upholstered with leather, and it looks as though this must be the place where the High Prince would sit and would speak or meet with the higher ups on the station. And off to the side you see a rack that has his cape on the rack, and there's actually a plastic cover over it to keep dust off of it, and you can see a little blue light. It's probably either ionization gas or maybe an electrostatic charge, again to keep dust off of the cape, but it's sitting on this rack, and you can see that little blue glow that you can guess is probably just dust prevention, but it could also be an alarm.
Can I just take off, do I have, can I just take off a piece of clothing that I have and try to switch it out, like Indiana Jones style?
Jones it? Yes. I love it. Okay, to do that, that's going to be a dexterity roll. You can, let's see, you can do athletics dexterity, but you don't have it, so probably just a straight dex, which you have a 0 in. So you're going to want to do well on this. Oh, so close. You brush the cape off as you sweep a jacket on there, and the light flickers for a moment and then comes back on. You've got the cape in hand. You don't know what that flicker meant, but you have the cape.
I'm gonna make a run,
Okay.
get out of there as soon as I can. Yeah.
As you.
But
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Can I like that frag grenade that I have? I want to rig it, like sort of make a string to the pin and put it towards the door, so anyone
So
that comes after me into this room,
Ooh, okay.
just explode.
To set that up, that's going to be an explosives roll as you're setting a charge. And you can take your time, so the difficulty on this is going to be a 6. Oh, nailed it. Okay. You set this up like a claymore, you know. Whoever's coming through that door is going to get a face full of frag. You notice once you get this set up and you run this string over to the door, you look like, oh yeah, this is good. And you pull the pin, everything's where it should be, carefully walk away, you reach the door, and you see that little blue light is now flashing underneath your jacket that you put there. So something is not right. But do you stick around to try and fix it, or do you leave?
No, I leave. I run away.
Perfect. You step out the door, you shut the door, and away you go. Now, how are you carrying this cape? Are you wearing it, or do you roll it up and try to hide it?
No, totally. I'm wearing it. And then,
Awesome. That is the perfect distraction. So anyone that sees you will know exactly what's going on. Awesome.
Yeah.
You begin to sprint down the hallway. And where are you running to? Are you going to run back to where the ship is docked?
No, I'm running towards the media center.
Perfect.
Media.
Perfect. Let's go back to the 4-grav hallway. Let me take all of you. We're going to pull you into combat. I'm going to just check everyone's initiative. It's all based on your die roll and your score. There we go. Perfect. Begin combat. Alright, so this bot comes first, and then Sir Dalamont. And so it's actually moving towards Sir Dalamont. And you see the little torch hand light up on it. And what do we got here?
Okay.
Let's see.
Uh,
Let's see if I can target you. There we go. Perfect. Target. He is coming at you with this little cutting torch. Now, in Traveler, you have unlimited reactions. Now, to do your reaction, you can dodge. It's based on whatever your dexterity modifier is, or if you have athletics dexterity. Yours is 0, so it will do you no advantage to dodge. If you dodge, it just applies whatever that score is as a negative modifier on the enemy, but then you take a -1 penalty to your action every time you dodge. It won't do you any good because he's going to get a 0. It's just going to hurt you. You can also duck behind, or like duck for cover. You forego your turn, but you get behind cover. That's going to be a little tough because of the gravity. You would have to make a strength roll, or you can just let this guy make his attack and you don't react until it's your turn. Do you want to dive for cover or just let him make an attack?
There are a lot of robots
There
there,
are.
so Dalamant's gonna try and dive for cover.
Okay, give me a strength roll. What that will do, that will mean when your turn comes up next, you won't act. If you're okay losing your turn. Otherwise, you'll go next.
Maybe he won't then. Yeah, he won't. He won't do anything.
Okay. He comes in against Sir Dalamont and misses. So you would have taken 3 damage had he hit, but he rolled low and misses. So now it is your turn, Sir Dalamont.
Dalamant's gonna kind of yell, "We're here for the people of Senlis, to save them,"
Ooh.
and work his way towards finding some cover as he yells that.
Give me a persuade roll. And now give me a strength roll as you move into cover. Nice. Okay, so you're able to roll kind of to the side and get behind the bulkhead there. You struggle to get to your feet, so you find it easier just to roll. So you just roll over in there and slowly start kind of inching your way up the wall until you're in a seated position. And you feel the weight of the gravity just pulling your arms down. It's tough, but you manage to get up. When you call that out, the construction bots pause for a moment. And then you hear, and I don't have a recording for this, but you hear that female voice say, "I don't care about Senlis." And then the robots will continue to advance. This one's going to come right at Ellis. And Ellis, if you want to dodge, you're the same situation. It'd be a 0 if you want to try to dodge. Otherwise, this guy is going to attack you with his cutting torch.
I'll just let him attack me.
That's a miss. Terrible roll. So he misses as well. And this one's going to come up against Ulysses. So Ulysses, you do have a dodge. Your dodge is 1. So if you wanted to try to dodge, it would give him a -1 penalty, but then your next action would also have a -1 penalty.
Yeah, I think I'll dodge.
Okay. So he's going to attack you. Let me put down cutting torch -1. And that's a miss. That would have done a lot of damage. That's a miss as well. Ellis, your turn.
Okay, so I want to be looking for like a security system to maybe shut down the droids or something like that.
You can see on either side of the hallway there's some computer panels and screens. You could probably access the local gravity here as maybe to shut down the droids. You'd have to access the construction network. That little cat-like robot that's scurrying up alongside the wall, you don't know what that is or what that might be linked to. But if you want to make your way over to the computer, you can. That would be a strength roll to pull yourself over there.
Okay. Oh no.
So you get over to the side, but you can't quite pull yourself up. You can stick your hand up and try and access the computer, but you're going to have that -2 penalty
Yeah.
on it. So if you want to make that electronics computers roll with a -2.
Oh.
Oh, you got it.
Nice.
What are you looking for?
So the gravity is still on us.
Yeah,
right?
so do you want to turn the gravity off?
Yes.
Okay. You're able to do that.
Cool.
And as soon as you key that off, it's like a 50-pound weight was just removed from your shoulders, and everyone else can get up and can stand and move normally. So the gravity has been corrected. Ulysses, your turn. Now you have a cutting torch, correct?
Yes, I just cut the door to get into this room.
Perfect. So you've got it in hand. I've added it to your character sheet. You can attack these construction bots with a cutting torch if you like.
Sure, I will attempt to go at the robot that had just attacked me.
I think it was this one here. So you can target it. And then on your character sheet, I think down the left-hand side, you should see your cutting torch. Just hit attack. And that is a miss. Chief, your turn.
Yeah, Chief's got nothing. So
So you do have some tools. I can give you a club, like if you grabbed a hammer or something.
yeah, he does have the toolbox. That makes sense.
So yeah, let me throw a club on there, and I'll equip your club. There you go. If you want to attack with the club, you can.
Yeah, he'll try to cover Ulysses' flank. Oh,
Oh my gosh.
so far, yeah. Everyone's just missing.
So far, we're terrible.
Oh, God.
All right, this one here is going to go after Ellis. That's a
Oh,
hit.
Dang.
So Ellis, you're going to take damage, but you have armor. So right now you've got your vac suit on that can
Yeah.
protect you from 10 points of damage, and that did a measly 2 points of damage.
So it does nothing.
Does
to me.
nothing.
Cool.
This one's going to go against Chief. Ooh, that is a hit, but for 2 damage, and again, your armor protects it. So now they're rolling low on damage. This last one is going to go against Chief as well. And that's a miss. Alright, go to the next round. This one comes over to get at Sir Dalamont, and you're going to get a little bit of an advantage because of the cover. So he's going to get a penalty on his roll. -2. And that is a... what is that? That's a miss. No. Yep, that's a miss. No, that didn't roll right. I'll do that again. That rolled the skill, not the... There we go. That's a miss. All right, Dalamont, you're up.
I'm not still trying to think a way to talk his way out. you're impeding a GD force or a GeDeCo task force. Stop immediately.
Give me a persuade roll. You need to beat a 10. The voice says, "You're not GeDeCo. I am GeDeCo. You are intruders. I think perhaps we'll flush the atmosphere and drag your bodies outside, where you'll be found eventually."
I'd prefer not.
Can we do something else, please? All right, Ellis, the torches come off, and now they're going to grab you. No, does not grab you. This one's going to try and grab Ulysses. No. And Ellis, it's your turn.
Okay. I want to try to access maybe the construction system so I can shut down the droids.
Okay, that's another computer's roll. Last time you got your chain bonus is +1 on that, so add a +1 to that.
Cool. Oh.
You got it. With that +1, you got it.
Oh, good.
So you're accessing the bots.
Yes.
It takes you some time, so I'm gonna roll a die. This is how many rounds it will take you to deactivate them. Well, one round.
Yes.
Okay. So through the end of this round, as you are frantically trying to deactivate these bots, and you got to go through the different firewalls, the Senlis station, secure bot firewall, and the first thing you do, there's like 15 pages of the user license agreement that you have to scroll through and accept at the bottom, and then you have to watch a small video of the little bots doing work, and it takes time, and you're like, and you're probably pounding the screen as these things are trying to grab you and your friends and drag you out into space. But Ulysses, your turn. Oh, that is a big hit. Let me assign damage. Oh, none of Ulysses put that. Sorry, that guy there. Assign damage. That guy. So he took 9 damage from that. He has a few points left, but he is effectively out of the action. He starts sparking, and that will knock him out of the initiative. Let me knock him out. There we go. Not dead, but damaged to the point where he's going to be ineffective. Chief, your turn. Oh, nice. So you club this one, kind of right in the middle there. And same thing, let me mark him as out of action. So Ulysses, why don't you describe for me how you use your torch, and then Chief, tell me how you use your hammer to knock these 2 droids out of action.
Sure. I take the plasma torch and I quickly find one of the weak spots on one of these droids, and I turn up the valve and blast it with whatever I've got in this little cutting torch.
Nice. And you see hot metal fly, plasma spill out as your torch just hacks right through this thing, and it falls away, and you hear a little voice saying, "Malfunction, malfunction," and then static as the wires begin to melt inside of it. Chief, how about you? How do you club this sweet little droid into oblivion?
Yeah, I think seeing the where it was weak, he kind of just jams the hammer in, and he can yank it back out, and it just pulls that whole side of it out, and well, that would be pretty catastrophic. I imagine.
Like wires and circuit boards spill out, and then you hear the rupture of a fuel line as his torch extinguishes, and you can smell that gas. And Chief, you know that if you get too close now, that your torch that may ignite that gas, there may be a fireball in this chamber. So just to make it a little more fun for everyone. This one here is going to grab Sir Dalamont and try to drag him out of an airlock. Let's see if he can do that. Just missed by one. Dang it. That was close. And this one here is going to go for Chief. Nope. Okay. We go to the next round, and this is when Ellis, on your turn, you'll be able to deactivate these. So there's just a few more that will go. This one on Dalamont will try to drag him out of the airlock again. Okay. Sir Dalamont, give me a strength roll to resist this as it wrenches you off your feet and begins to drag you towards an airlock. Ooh, okay. You have your vac suit on, right?
Yep.
Okay. He gets you to the lock, and as the airlock is open, there's the rushing of air as this corridor is purged. The torches immediately go out. So Ulysses, your torch goes out as the air is sucked out. It blows the torch out. And Dalamont, you look out and you can see the cold vastness of space, as well as a field of sharp metal debris that's just outside the station as this begins to drag you over there. It's your turn. I'm going to give you a chance to try and get away, otherwise you're going out into the black.
Dalamont's gonna try and break free. He doesn't really have a weapon.
You can use your fists if you want to try and break free. You can use strength, or you can use athletics strength if you have it as a skill.
I think he'll try and use his fists, and he'll try and knock the bot off balance a little bit. So maybe actually his legs, try and just kind of sweep its feet up.
You're going to have to beat a 10.
See what he can do, I guess.
Oh my gosh. Wow. So you got it with your bludgeon. You get the +1. You got a 10. Yeah, you sweep his legs, and as he hits the ground, you're both scurrying for the exit. You give him a little push. It doesn't take much, just enough to get the inertia going. And as you do, you see that bot just begin to flail as it is pulled out into the darkness of space. It's unaffected by the vacuum, and it just continues to flail and thrash. And you can see frost already forming on the outer metallic surface of that bot. And it turns its robotic head to look at you with its little eye sensors, and you get the feeling like it says, "Why?" But you never hear that. All you hear is garbled electric static coming through your comms. Let's go to the last bot. This one is going after Ellis, and then the bots will be turned off. No. Alright, bots get turned off and they all deactivate. I'm going to take us out of initiative, out of combat order. all at once they power down, including the one out floating into space. So Dalamont, you see his thrashing stop as he becomes lifeless and just begins to slowly rotate as he drifts further and further away from the station. Ellis, what do you do?
Can I try to shut the door?
Yeah, that's a. You don't even need to make a check on that when you're able to get the door shut. As you turn these things off, you hear that voice.
Wait, no, I can't.
And then static, and the signal dies. Let me get rid of these bots. In front of you is a large, round, metallic door. This looks like the vault that was described by Ada on board the Aurora's Fortune. If this is indeed the vault, you're nearly there. The vault, it's got a pendulous door, much like a bank vault. It's secured against outside intrusion with countermeasures. However, it was damaged in the explosion. To hack into this is going to be a very difficult either mechanic or electronic computers check, meaning you need to beat a 14. Violence will always do the trick, though. A cutting torch, of which we have one, will take a certain number of minutes, and I'll let you roll a die to determine how long that will take. But as you reach the vault door, your comms begin to crackle, and a smooth, confident voice cuts in, and it's Skylark Tanlin, the old man that was kidnapped aboard that grav train so many weeks ago, that had been a prisoner of Lady Ada. And he says, "Ah, there you are. Director Skylark Tanlin, GeDeCo. I imagine Lady Ada didn't expect me to reach you this way, but then she hasn't actually been forthcoming with you, has she? You see, your patron isn't some minor noble from a forgotten rock. No, no, no. Her name most certainly is not Ada Wiseheart. She is Jisa Northgate, Princess of Senlis. Exiled, yes, but make no mistake, she is next in line to the throne. Every act of rebellion she's stirred, every favor she's begged of you, all of it has been in service to her return to power. Tell me, travelers, does that sound like the plight of an insignificant exile, or the ambition of a queen in waiting? She's been using you. That's the truth, and you've done well, but now you stand at the precipice. If you go on, you aren't fighting for freedom or justice. You're pawns in her coronation. Can you truly trust her, knowing she has lied about who she is from the very beginning? I'm prepared to make you an offer. Abandon this charade. Walk away from her doomed crusade. In exchange, I will personally see that you are pardoned. Set up as GeDeCo agents with real careers, real authority. Whatever Ada promised you, I'll pay you triple. All I ask is simple. Report Ada's position to my managers on station. Tell us her plan. Then you can step away from this foolishness, rich, safe, and free. Think carefully, travelers. Loyalty is a fine thing, but loyalty to a liar, to a manipulator, that's a leash around your neck. Choose wisely before you find yourselves exiled alongside your so-called princess. You have 30 seconds.
He was just willing to kill us. I don't think we can really trust him.
What do the rest of you think? Do you take his offer?
Although if he knows we're here, he could set the security here on us. I don't know if we stand much chance of escape if they're ready for us.
seems like a doomed if you do, doomed if you don't situation. We've already come this far, and really, I don't think Chief judges anybody for, being an exile hiding their name, so he's probably not too keen, but he's happy to go with the flow.
Ellis, what about you?
Well, like Chief said, we've already come this far. We might as well carry out our mission and get paid. Like, we don't really know who we can trust, but we know that Ada is going to pay us for this, so...
So do you turn down Skylark Tanlin's offer? Do you choose the side of the rebellion? Or the side of money and security? I need your answer. Sir Delamont, you speak for the group. What's your choice?
What assurances can you provide us that what you say is true? You were just trying to have us killed.
If I wanted you killed, it would have already happened. I've been waiting.
It almost did.
That wasn't me. But I took care of that little problem. Look, GeDeCo is a big corporation. We do a great many things. You are insignificant in the grand scheme of things. We could squash you like a bug. But if you prove your worth and worthiness, we will pay you. You will be an ally of GeDeCo. This is something that will follow you throughout your journeys. Or you could become an enemy. The choice is yours. When you rescued me from the train, as Lady Ada calls it, I call it a kidnapping, I saw in you purpose, and I saw in you ability. I would not throw that away. You could be valuable as an asset and as a tool for GeDeCo to do much good. It is not the desire of GeDeCo to see Senlis control its population, but we are bound by that contract. The contracts were agreed upon in good faith and have been adhered to. I'm open to renegotiating the contract, but what I'm not open to is letting Lady Ada have her way and usurp the throne from her brother. So what will it be?
Chief. What do you think, Chief?
I think GeDeCo is more of a tyrant than either of them.
I'm tempted to agree. We've seen how Lady Ava at least cares for people.
Is this your final decision?
Delmont will look towards his other companions.
Yeah, I'm with Ada. Lady Ada.
Yeah, Chief is nodding.
I admit I am impressed. I only hope that you do not live to regret your decision. We will speak again. Now, I've got to get off these comms before Lady Ada discovers I've hacked into her system. Director Tanlin, over and out. You're here in the vault. You've got access to the door. It needs power if you want to turn it on. And you know that turning on the power is going to trigger the security system.
Before we open the vault, do we want me to start heading back to the ship so that I can get that warmed up if we need to get out of here fast?
I think that might be a good idea.
Yeah, it's probably going to be required.
I will leave the cutting torch then, in case they need that, and then I'm going to start sprinting back to the ship.
As you move back towards the ship, you notice that none of the doors between you and the ship are locked. In fact, as you come around corners, you see doors opening for you before you're even near their motion sensors. And as you near the ship, you can see that there is no security standing outside your ship. In fact, your ship has a document that has been stuck to the outside of the entrance that says that the ship has passed inspection and is free to go. Do you do anything before you get on and warm up the ship?
Could I just do maybe a quick inspection, not something in detail, but just maybe a recon on the ship, see if there's maybe a tracker or something that
You
they
can
put on
either
there?
do recon, or if you want to do piloting, instead of doing it with dexterity, do it with your intellect. I'll let you choose what you want to do. Yeah, there's a tracker on your ship, and it is in the cargo bay. You can see it, and it also has an anti-tamper system on it that if you try to remove it, it's going to set off an alarm.
Well, that's something to deal with when we're leaving the system. I'll just start firing up the engines.
Okay. Let's go back to those in the vault. So to hack into this system, you're going to need to turn the power on. You're right near the power system. There's no roll to do that, but that will set off the alarm. Now, you have the key, basically like the little USB thumb drive you need to plug in that's going to access the information, change it, undetect it, and then get you out of there. But once you get the power on, the alarm goes off. Anything you want to do before you turn the power back on? All right. Ellis, do you power it on?
I can.
Okay, and then who is going to access the contract with that drive? Basically, who is going to make the electronics computers check? Who's the best at that amongst the three of you?
Chief doesn't even have that ability.
Chief
Belmont
can't even
can
get
do
his
it.
email.
But Ellis might be the best.
I have a 0 in this go.
Ah, we're tied.
Well, it's going to use your education, which is going to be Dalamont. Is going to be better at it.
All right.
So you turn on the power, and immediately an alert goes off. Now, the way that this will work, instead of 5 minutes, it's going to take significantly longer. How long will depend on your roll. So each point of effect that you get will reduce the time by a certain number of minutes. So rather than taking 5 minutes, it's going to take 30 minutes. So I need that electronic computers check, and the effect will modify the time it takes. Nice. So that is going to knock off let's see, it's 1d, so 6 minutes. So we'll round it down to 20 minutes. So just over 20 minutes is how long it's going to take. That's way longer than you were expecting. 4 times as long to get this done. As this alarm goes off, it is system-wide. And Aaron, you are running through the area. You get to the media center just as the alarm begins to go off. And you see flashing lights here and there, and you see security personnel quickly checking their comms, and there is a notice up on one of the many multi-screen walls that they have that says security breach in process, please return to secure areas. What do you do from here?
I want to activate the immediate, like, system-wide media
Okay.
for the entire station. I want to broadcast an emergency alert that there is a virus on the station and put the symptoms of exactly the heroin and crack cocaine onto it.
Awesome.
And you're like, and then I'm just saying, like, shit, there's a virus on the loose that was, and basically just put an emergency broadcast and whack it on full on auto on that one.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Yeah, give me a. What do I want to have you do for this? Probably a computers roll, so electronic computers, and add a. We're going to add 2 to this.
Okay,
So-
cool. Just plus two on that one.
Yep, so nice. So absolutely a success. You see panic begin to set in as people begin to look at one another, and you notice that these people they're agitated. First they're not feeling well, then this alarm goes off, and now there's talk of a virus, and just pandemonium begins to break out. And you see people screaming, people running, people pouring out of different rooms, covering their faces with their hands or with a piece of cloth, or scrambling to get masks on. Biohazard lights begin to go off.
While this is happening, can I also turn on the fire suppression system on the entire station?
Ooh.
Just the
This is going to be a
if I
harder
can do
roll, but you can add your chain bonus of +2 to this. So that's another electronic computers, but add +2. Got it.
Success, I guess.
Nice. Yeah, so all of a sudden, like, the halon gas starts to pump all through the system, and it's absolute. Like, there's no better distraction than this. As you know, again, people are screaming. There's security guards trying to quiet people down, but now the security guards are panicking. Where do you go from here?
I'll with my cape, I'll run around still and try to attract attention. And then I'm gonna go. I'll go to. Where would a good place to be? Like, where would the people assemble in terms of a fire?
Probably where all of the ships dock, because they all want to get the hell out of here. There's shuttles that go
Yeah,
down to
I'll-
Senlis, which is right where
Yeah,
your
I'll-
ship is docked as well.
Yeah, cool. I'll head over there. Yeah, no worries.
Give me a dexterity roll. You can either roll dex or you can roll athletics dexterity, just to kind of get through the. Actually, you got the same in either one, so to get through
Yeah,
the
it doesn't
crowd. So
matter.
it's going to take you some time
Yeah.
because of that crowd, and so it's going to take you. This is going to be times 10 minutes, so almost an hour to get over there.
Yeah.
So so there's going to be a delay. So now it's up to, by the time the 20-ish minutes are up, and then those guys get back to the ship, are they going to stick around for another 10 or 15 minutes, or are they going to leave Aaron to find his own way off? That may be what we come up to.
Mm-hmm.
Those of you in the vault, the distraction has been exactly what you needed. Rather than having security en masse going to the vault to find out what's going on, you can hear security personnel approaching. And they're at that door that was cut through. After about 10 minutes of hacking into the computer, you can hear voices out there saying, "This is where they breached. Get the guns, get the big guns. Where is everybody?" And you can tell that they are disordered out there. What do you guys do hearing that? Chief, this is probably a job for you.
Yeah. Big guns, scary. Guns. I know they've got turrets and such. I don't know if they're mobile, but that's scary. It might be best to just wait by the door and ambush and hope we can snatch a weapon off them, but even then, that's just one. So, yeah.
Do you have the... Was it you that had the security clothes?
I don't think so.
Who had
Dalamont.
Dalamont had it.
Construction guy. Yeah.
Sorry, I thought it was Chief Dalamont. Do you want to try and bluff your way?
Well, problem is Dalmont's working on the computer, though.
Well, once it's going, it just takes time. So now that it's
Oh,
started,
okay.
you're all just
He's
kind of
not
watching like the
actively-
percent. It's kind of like back when you used to defrag your hard drive and you'd watch the little pieces moving around. It just took
Oh,
forever.
okay.
So yeah, you're watching that as it's happening. You're not having to manually do stuff. So you're free to move around, but this won't be done for about another 10 minutes. So Dalamont, you could within 30 seconds switch into that security uniform and try to bluff your way out of this.
Yeah, for sure. He's gonna flip his clothes around so the security part's facing. And then he's going to go up to the door and say, "Oh, where's this? The construction bots have gone haywire. They've been lighting things on fire and breaking things in here. We're working on opening the door to get us out."
Give me a deception roll, and you can add a +2 to that. Oh, jeez. They're like, construction bots. There's no construction bots. This is the work of a thief. Look at these cuts. They're too precise for construction bots.
What? These construction bots are state of the art. The High Prince has paid a ton of money to GeDeCo to get these bots up and running for the station. They're brand new models. I think they have some sort of bug that's caused them to cause all this damage.
Give me a persuade roll, and you're going to add your chain bonus of -2 to your persuade roll. They look at you. That's an old insignia. Please step out here, sir. We just want to talk.
I didn't realize they could see me yet.
Yeah, they're kind of looking through that little hole in the door.
When you open the door, I'll gladly show you exactly what went wrong with these bots, and we'll have to find a solution.
Ellis and Chief, what are you doing before that door gets opened?
He's trying to get beside it so he can knock one out when they come through, hopefully.
Nice.
They've got guns.
Give me a stealth roll. And give a +2 to that because you're mostly blocked from view. Oh, you just got it. Okay, you managed to position yourself just to the side of the doorway. Ellis, what about you?
I guess I'll just look for a weapon to, I don't know, defend myself or maybe take
There's some
someone
of those tools if you wanted to grab some tools. I can give you a club.
Yeah, I'll take a club.
Let me give
And-
you a club.
Before the door gets open, Dalmont's gonna take that powder he made earlier out.
I was waiting for this. Excellent.
And he's gonna try and blow it through the hole in the door.
So there's a length of tubing in here, like conduit, and you could use it kind of like a blowgun and just kind of like direct it right at
Yeah,
it if you want
exactly.
to.
Yeah, exactly what he had in mind.
Nice. Are you going to do that before they open the door?
Ideally, so that we don't get any blowback.
Okay, I'm gonna have you give me a roll. Um, it's gonna be like an unarmed melee attack.
Okay.
So you
And catch a break.
you blow a cloud of it out there, and you hear them coughing. If they haven't breathed in enough to knock them out, it has distracted them for a moment. You guys will essentially, if you burst through the door, get a surprise round where they won't go. You'll get like a free attack. Let me grab some security forces. There's two of them. They look like twins. And you see they've got auto pistols and stun sticks. You can get one of those, then you'll have a weapon. But they seem to be distracted. Let me get Ulysses off of the map here, and let's drag into a combat. And Sir Dalamont, you can go first as you push through the door. Being careful not to inhale any of that.
Dalamont sees the stun stick, and he knows that's what he's got to go for. It's the only thing he's kind of familiar with. So he's going to attempt to grab the stun stick from the closest security.
Give me
person.
a melee roll. Oh, it's close. You're kind of wrestling over it. You can't wrench it out of their hands, but you're fighting over this stun stick, and so you've got hands on it. If they get subdued or killed, you'll have that in hand. Their turns get skipped. Chief, you're up next, and you're going to get you've got the full element of surprise on this, so they can't dodge or defend or anything. So you go at them with your hammer.
Yeah, with the goal of getting a gun, but definitely trying to disable one. Ooh. I guess I could have just rolled the two. Oh, geez.
So you're trying not to inhale those that cloud of vapor, the little knockout stuff, and your blow is ineffective as they stagger backwards as you burst through the door. Ellis.
Well,
best laid plans of mice and men.
Okay. I'll attack with the club.
And that's a miss. We go to the next round of combat. Sir Dalamont, you've got this one. You're grabbing that stun stick. You can try to wrench it away. This time it's just going to be a strength roll if you want to try and pull that away. Or if you are trying to damage them as you get it away, you can make another melee attack roll as you maybe elbow them or punch them to try and pull that stun stick away.
Yeah, I think since the guard is kind of clamped up on it a little bit more, Dalamont's going to try and just maybe elbow them in their chin or something as he reaches for it next time.
Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah, you elbow them in the chin and they let go. And now you've got the stun stick. I think you probably already have one on your character sheet. Yep. You now have the stun stick in hand. You'll be able to use that next round.
Perfect.
This one here is going to try to stun Chief. And Chief, that's a hit for 9 damage. Your vac suit will block all of that. So you feel the press of the stun stick against your suit and the surge of electricity, but your suit has protection from damage like this, and it blocks all of that damage. The one who had her stun stick taken pulls out her auto pistol and is going to shoot at Sir Dalamont.
An understandable reaction.
Oh, and that is a miss. Chief, you're up.
Can I just try to disarm this woman with her pistol? The one stun sticking me. Is that just a melee roll?
Yep, a melee roll.
Because the club is not working out. Oh boy. Oh.
Yep, marginal success. You got it. So you managed to pull that stun stick away. Let me put one on your character. I'm going to ditch your club. And let me give you a stun stick. There we go. And Ellis, you're up next.
So did that take out the guard, or just, like, did he just drop the stick?
Just drop the stick. Guards are still there.
Okay.
They're just going to shoot us. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to pull out guns now.
And that's a miss.
Sir Dalamont.
Dalamont is going to take a swing at the closest security guard.
Okay, that is a hit. That is, let me apply this. Target. There we go. That is, that's enough. So, with a stun weapon, once the endurance hits 0, they drop. And so this one, through her flak vest, you managed to drop her. So the flak vest absorbs 5, she takes 7, her endurance is 6. So you basically render her incapacitated. Let me mark her prone. Where's prone? Right there. She's unconscious. She does nothing. The next one is going to fire, and this one's firing at Sir Dalamont. Oh, and that's a hit on Sir Dalamont. Your armor's going to block it, though. So it puts a hole in your vac suit. You don't take any damage, but you know that suit is not going to be safe if for some reason you get sucked out into space. You're going to have minutes before you die until that gets repaired. But yeah, your suit takes the wound, takes the brunt of the damage. Chief, you have a stun stick now.
Indeed, and the stun stick feels very familiar to him. Oh dear, not familiar enough, however.
Ellis, what about you?
And miss again.
My goodness, you are no good with a club. Sir Dalamont, can you take out this other one?
It's been like Dalamont's fantasy for so long, being able just to wipe the floor with a bunch of enemies when Chief stands defenseless.
Oh, that is a hit.
It's got to be a lot.
That will be not enough to render. So they have 2 endurance left. Not enough to render them unconscious, but that was a good hit. So 2 more points to endurance and they'll drop. It is their turn. They're going to fire at Sir Dalamont. And that's a miss. Chief, can you redeem yourself?
Oh, yes.
Okay. That will do. That will render them unconscious. I'm going to end combat. You've got 2 unconscious security guards at your feet. They'll come to in a matter of minutes. You've got about 10 minutes left before the download is done. What do you do with their bodies? They're not dead. They're just stunned.
We might want to make them dead. Definitely disarm them. The chief will take a gun. The auto pistol, right?
Yep.
It's actually better with stun stick, I think, but you know,
Who wants the other auto
they don't
pistol?
have it.
Is Ellis better at that than
Yes.
Sir Dalamont?
Auto pistol's a slug weapon, right?
Yeah. Let's see. You already have an auto pistol in your character. Perfect. Do you kill them?
Well, anybody got anything to restrain them with? Because otherwise, I think we're gonna have to shoot them.
We could always just like push them out into space like we did with the droids.
That feels a little crueler.
We just stun them right when they wake up.
Yeah, you could. Sir Dalamont could just stand over them with the stun stick, and as soon as they come to, just shock them again.
Or maybe just once every couple minutes, just give them a good zap.
Just for fun.
Well, that will send them into cardiac arrest at one point or another.
Hey, I'm a doctor. I can take care of it.
Or if you have some of that powder left, now they would be, it'd be pointless for them to try to resist that powder and just knock them out for a while.
Yeah, if he didn't use it all,
Yeah, you probably still have a little left.
then we'll go that route to save ourselves a little bit of trouble.
Perfect. You just sprinkle some into their nostrils, and you just see them go even deeper into that sleep. As once the countdown reaches 100%, you've made that change. The computer beeps, and you can retrieve that key and make your exit. As you begin to flee, there is an explosion that tears through the station as someone has gone into that room and set off that frag grenade. And you feel the rumble, and then you see on some of the security monitors that there has been a breach in the secure areas. And that just adds more to that commotion. With enough distraction, you'll be able to get back to the ship without any difficulty. And in fact, those doors seem to open for you much like they did for Ulysses as he was going back to the ship. When you get back to the ship, you see Ulysses already has it warmed up. There's no security in this area, and you can get on the ship. Arin is not there. Arin is probably, I'm going to say, well, actually, rather than say, let me roll a dice. This is how many minutes away Arin is. Oh, 2 minutes. Okay, so never mind. Arin is 2 minutes away. Do you open comms to talk to Arin, or do you not want to potentially have that eavesdropped?
We know they're compromised.
Yep. So how long would you wait, Ulysses?
And I'll leave that up to Chief. I'll ask Chief what he thinks. What he thinks we should do, if he wants to leave now or if he wants to wait it out a little bit.
Well, we don't really know the guy, but I think it's customary you give a man 5 minutes.
Do we have any information on the patrol of the ships in space?
The Corvettes? You can give me a tactics naval roll.
No.
This will be fine, right? Oh, no way. Wow. Yeah, you pull up and you can see that they are they're actually on alert because of the explosion and everything that's going on. But they are not like parked outside your ship, but they're just in kind of a circuitous orbit. There's 3 of those Corvettes that are just slowly moving around the station, keeping an eye on things and just on high alert. To get out of this may be tricky. Once your ship pulls out, they're likely going to intercept. And you would know that they don't want anyone leaving because this is a crime scene potentially, and so if you pull away, they will follow.
I say we wait at the very least until these patrol corvettes are at the farthest distance they'll go from us on their route.
So with your success, that's going to add a +2 chain bonus to the getaway. Now you have some options. If you just leave, they will probably follow you, and they may follow you with guns. You can also make an emergency jump. Now, to jump, there's a certain procedure that you have to go through. And normally, if there's no pressure, you don't even do the rolls. This is a high pressure situation. So the first thing you have to do is an astrogation roll. And you need to plot the jump. And this is an easy check, so you only need a 4 or higher. And that takes anywhere from 10 minutes to 1 hour to make that plot. If you want to speed that up, it makes the difficulty harder. So if you want it to take like somewhere between 1 and 6 minutes, that would make it like a 6 or higher. But then if you're going 1 parsec, that's a -1 modifier. So you would basically need to get a 5 or higher. If you are... that will then modify the jump. So then the jump is an engineer J drive check as you divert power to the jump drive. And this is modified by that astrogation check. And then if you are still within the 100 diameter limit, which you are, there's a -4 to that roll. If you fail, the ship misjumps. And that can be anything from you end up shortly, a day away from your target, or you could end up 10,000 kilometers from your target, or you could be stuck in deep space until your bodies decompose into radiation. You never know. So if you want to make an emergency jump, there is risk, but that's probably your best chance to get away without them bringing you down with gunfire. And Ulysses, you're the pilot. What do you order?
Well, first, we need to get this tracker off, because if we make a jump anywhere, they're going to know which parsec we went to.
So who is going to... So we kind of need to decide who's going to do the astrogation. If you're going to do the jump, who's going to do the astrogation? Who's going to do the engineer J drive? Who's going to take care of the tracker?
Chief is trained in J drive. He's not particularly great at it. It ended horribly, but he's trained.
Okay. Who wants to do astrogation? Is that Ellis or who? I forget who has.
Ulysses has a 1 in astrogation.
Aaron has a 0.
I have a -3.
Oh yeah, it's not you.
-3 as well.
Am I
Although-
back yet?
Yep.
I think
so
we've been-
you're back on the ship. You were only 2 minutes away, so it was just a scan.
Oh,
2 minutes before
I
you
don't
got-
want to go on a ship. I want to go on my own ship because I can pilot. So I'm going to tell the team once they get in range of the comms and stuff. Like I'm going to cause a distraction to lead the corvettes away.
Oh, perfect. So
And
there
you guys go.
There's a shuttle that would be heading down to the surface. No one is leaving because there's threat of a virus, an outbreak of a virus. So no shuttles are in operation, but you could bluff your way onto a shuttle and try and lead the corvettes away.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Perfect. To bluff your way onto the shuttle, there's going to be a deception roll.
Okay. Deception.
Nailed it. So yeah, you'll add a +2 chain bonus to your next roll, which is going to be your piloting roll. So you get on the shuttle. No one's on it, so you hop on, fire it up, pilot this thing away, and that's with your +2. Okay. So what that means is you're detected. Because as you pilot this away,
I want to be detected. That's good.
This is what you want. So this is perfect. So you're detected, and immediately your comms go off on a secure channel, and they say, "This is Black Bay Security. Please, shuttle, return to the station. No one is to leave. This is your first and only warning."
And I basically open a visual comms and show them my cape, and I'll be like, "Bitch, I got your boss's cape now," and then turn it off, and then really make haste with the ship, try to leave as fast as possible.
Nice. Give me another piloting roll.
As I'm doing this, I'm telling them to hurry up while I'm getting them distracted that they should leave, or like the other ship
Perfect.
with the data pod, with the data carrier, or whatever.
Give me a piloting roll.
Yep.
they're definitely going to be like on you and trying to bring you down with first with some warning shots, but you've got all their attention, and this is exactly what you wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, you're pushing this little shuttle, as far and as fast as you can, which is not very far or fast compared to a Corvette.
Oh yeah, that shit's.
Oh yeah, they come up on either side of you, and you can see the turrets swiveling around, and they're shouting out all sorts of warnings. And Ulysses, you can hear all this, and you use this moment to back away. So you can give me a piloting roll as you back out of here. Or actually, no, sorry. Did I already make you do a piloting roll? I think you did.
Not to get.
No, you had. Okay, so yeah, give me a piloting roll with a +2 on it with having the distraction. Got it. So that +2 is going to go on the astrogation roll. Are you making the astrogation roll as well, Ulysses?
Unless someone else wants to give that one a go.
I think you had the highest. So you need to beat a 5. And you get a +2 bonus. Ooh. Got it. That will add a +2 bonus to the engineer J drive check. Now with this one, you're going to have a -4 and then a +2, so a -2 on the J drive check. You need to beat a 6. And this is Chief.
Oh, with the J drive.
Yep, J drive with a -2, and you want to beat a 6.
Okay, it's possible.
Oh, I think you got it. Oh, you got a 6.
Just
So no miss jump. So, and then last, who is taking care of that tracker? That's going to be electronics sensor roll. Unless you just want to smash it, you can also just smash
He's the
it.
best.
Yeah.
Oh. We'll try doing it the right way and then smashing it if
not, do it the Chief way.
Yeah.
perfect.
Oh, look at that. So it's like the A team, you love it when a plan comes together. So as the Exton Ridge is pulling away from the station, Ulysses, you plot the astrogation to Orsosh, send the coordinates into the nav computer. You order Chief to hit the J drive. You go down there, and it's highly radioactive around the engine room. You're down there knowing that one wrong thing, and we're going to be just an atomic fireball. But you get the drive eased into the jump routine, and just as that's happening, Sir Dalamont, you destroy the sensor so it's no longer transmitting data. And there's a blinding flash as the hydrogen in your ship is pumped into a small singularity, and you are pushed into a bubble that is free of space-time, and you begin to travel to Orsosh. Around this same time, Aaron, tell us what happens with you. I'll let you decide what happens with Aaron. Do you get away?
Oh, okay. How do I? Yeah.
You can just narrate.
What, the shuttle can only land on the planet, right? It has no.
Yes. Yep. It does not have a jump drive.
Right. Yeah. Obviously. Stupid shuttle. What about the rendezvous point? Where is it? It's another planet. Is that what it was?
So the way that this is set up, so the Senlis system, there's a star and there's multiple planets, and the largest planet that has the population is Senlis, but there are other planets in this system, and Lady Ada's ship is near one of those other planets. You could make your way there, but you're going to have to shake this tail. If you go down to the surface, those Corvettes can't go down to the surface of Senlis.
Yeah, I'll go down to the surface. I'm going to land on the planet.
Okay.
If that makes more sense, trying to take a shuttle to the...
Yeah. Give me another piloting roll, and we're going to modify it by your last roll. So you can have a -2 on this piloting roll. You just need a 6 or higher.
Okay, let's do this. Oh. Yep, 6.
So close. You got a 5.
Oh yeah.
As
3.
as you bring your ship down, you manage to escape the corvettes. They can't follow you down into orbit. They're not designed to go into atmosphere, but they've marked your position on planet, and they will very quickly send a security force to your location. You've got time. It could be hours, it could be days before you're found, but a manhunt is going to proceed to try and get you. And
Very nice.
we're actually going to end the scenario there with your situation in doubt and everyone else having made an emergency jump to Orsage. And so we'll leave that up in the air as far as what happens to Aaron. Does Aaron
Nice.
get away? Does he survive? Is he captured and tortured? Everyone
No one
else
knows. He's
He is built for success as a jack of all trades. He will find a way off if he has to MacGyver it until he gets there. And that's the end of the station job. You managed to make that change. You had a difficult choice you were faced. You could side with GeDeCo and turn in Lady Ada, who it sounds like her name is actually Giza Wiseheart, brother of the High Prince. Or you could help her rebellion, and you chose the rebellion. So then there is one additional heist that's available where basically you go to Senlis and try and help her finish up the job of the rebellion. But that is for another day. So let's do some experience points. I use the optional rule from the Traveler's Companion. I actually added a journal entry called Experience and Training. It should be visible for you guys, or I'll post it to your screens now. Everybody gets one experience point, and you can assign it to where you want to. I know, like Ulysses, you're saving your points because you want to get rank 3 in piloting, and so this paper the journal I just sent you shows how many points it costs. So to go from skill level 0 to skill level, to go from untrained to skill level 0 costs 1 experience point. To go from level 0 to 1 also costs 1. To go from 1 to 2 would cost 2 points. 2 to 3 would cost 4 points. So if you want to put it towards a skill that you don't have enough to purchase yet on your character sheet, you can go to like your biography and just put down in there where you're putting it. So if you go like below your height, weight, there's a section, you'll see a little box with like a pencil checking the box. If you click on that, you can edit it. And so Ulysses, I see you've just made that change. So you're piloting, you got 3 experience points towards piloting, so 1 more and you'll bump that up. But if anyone wants to spend that point now, we can do that. Ellis, do you know what you want to spend your point on? Is there a skill you want to bump up now, or are you putting it towards something else?
I think I would like to put it towards maybe computers in electronics.
Electronic computers?
Yeah.
So right now your skill is 0, so you could just spend it right now and put computers at level 1.
Oh,
do you want to
okay,
do that?
Yeah, I'll do that then.
Okay, perfect. So you're at level 1 in computers now. How about for Chief? Do you know how you want to spend your point?
Yeah, I think I will spend it. I think Chief would like to take navigation to 0. That would be...
Yeah. Let me
That
check
came up.
that box for you there. Now navigation is 0. Perfect. And how about Sir Dalamont? Do you know how you want to spend your point? Do you want to save it, put it towards something, or do you want to spend it now?
I think he'll spend it to increase his deception from 1 to 2.
So to go from 1 to 2 would cost you 2 points.
Oh, I was reading that wrong, I guess. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry. It's kind of goofy. So to gain level 0 costs 1 point. To gain level 1 costs 1 point. To gain level 2 costs 2 points. So you can put it towards that, or you could take something that you don't have trained and move it to 0, or something that's 0 and move it to 1.
Yeah, in that case, he'll move his persuade from 0 to 1.
Okay. And then after the next session, once you've kind of finished the little mini campaign, I'm going to give everybody some bonus experience points, just kind of as like a milestone goal. So we'll add that on there. And Aaron, what about you? How would you spend your point?
I'll go to 0 for. What's my negative? I'll go 0 for persuade, I guess.
For persuade? Okay, perfect. So I'll just mark that to 0. Excellent. Perfect. Any questions about the experience? The way that it normally works in Traveler is you study, and it takes like 8 weeks of time, and basically like reading manuals and books and watching videos while you're on your ship. And so when you're doing a jump, like it takes a week to do a jump, and so it's kind of figured, you're studying during some of that time as well as doing duties on the ship. And so that's sort of where the milestone comes in, is that it sort of represents the downtime and how you've used it to gain additional skills. But I like this optional one from the Traveler's Companion because it's a lot easier, because you get a point, you can spend it right away, versus to go from like rank 1 to 2 takes like 24 weeks of study, and it's like I don't want to do bookkeeping more than I have to. So I like using that one. But yeah, excellent game, excellent choices, and a few things that when I was going through this thinking how I would do it, I would have tried to like spacewalk into the station from outside, and like gone through that breach and tried to get into the vault that way. And that's definitely an option. I love how you guys the distractions, the disruption, I think was fantastic, and then the way that like just the little things like hiding in the crate, having some equipment in the crates, the way that you dealt with the security, and then the offer from Skylark Tanlin to join GeDeCo and turn in Lady Ada. I thought you guys did awesome on that. So I want to thank you guys for playing. I had a blast. I love Traveler. It's super fun, and it's nice because you're not heroes. You're basically just average Joes trying to make some credits, and you will get paid. In fact, you'll get paid. We can pay you right now. You're going to get 100,000 credits from Lady Ada to split up, so that's 20,000 credits each. If you want to put that on your finance under your cash, you can add 20,000 credits under your cash. But thank you all for playing, and I'm going to post this video here shortly, and I hope to, I know I'll see many of you on Sunday for Call of Cthulhu. I don't know when I'll do the next Traveler, probably be a month or two, but I will get the next one posted soon, and hope to see you all back. Thanks a lot, everybody.